Yes, people, we are back for another show, another debate show. But look at the guests I've got on this show today, guys, and more to come as well. When Monts finishes up, he'll be over here as well. But we've got Ish. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, bro. As good as can be, man.
And making
Last
his debut.
done.
Yes, exactly. And making his debut on the channel, Cal from Coffish. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, bro. Well, I like it. It's as good as it can be. As good as can be, bro. Thanks for having me, man.
No, you're welcome. Glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. There will be more coming on as well, guys, soon as well. Savage in the chat because he hasn't got Twitter. I'll put the link in for him here. Savage, you can come through as well. So we'll get everyone on the show. We're going to have a good debate today, guys. There's lots to talk about. Because I've got the boys on the channel. We haven't really spoke about the Champions League finals. We're going to go on about that. Here he is. Look at Monts here as well. Here he is.
Hey.
Man, how you doing?
I'm having to make do at the family's house, and I'm having to make do right now.
That's good, my man. And Savage in the house as well.
Big up.
Oh, here we go. So, guys.
The whole crew. Jeez.
Crew. And we've got Saint to come here.
Is there any background noise, by the way? Am I all good?
No, you're good, mate. Good. So, guys, so we're going to have to look back at the Champions League. Me and Savage have done a bit of talk about this in recent days, but I haven't heard your guys' opinions on it yet. So we're going to talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about Liverpool needing a striker this summer. We're going to put some choices out there, talk about the availability of some players that could come to this league. Lewandowski. Then, unfortunately, we're going to have to talk about Sadio
Mane. I'm more on that one, Monks. I'm more on that one.
Midfielders, we look like we need an old school number 8, an attacking number 8, basically Steven Gerrard. If anyone can clone Gerrard, we clone Sheik. Why can't we clone Steven Gerrard? Does someone do it? And then just for a laugh at the end, Naby Keita to PSG. Then that's just all, 50 million apparently, if that's true. Jesus Christ, this world's going nuts. Poor Matt. I mean, I feel sorry for Drifty and Matt if this is all true and this is happening.
Can't just cling on to Bobby, my friend. Can't just cling on to Bobby.
I'm clinging on to Firmino at the moment.
No, you got one more year with him.
You guys see the gap? The string is this thin.
You got one more year, bro. Hey, it's coming like floss. It's coming like
if Mane, Origi, Firmino, and Keita leaving this summer, I don't know what happens to Coppish. I'm not gonna.
The Coppish agenda is fly out the window.
Yeah, we're done.
That's awesome. I'm doing any Nation Leagues watch along. Yeah, I'll be doing that Nation Leagues watch along. So I'll put myself through it, don't worry. Just for you guys. You don't.
I love that.
Edward's got questions to the panel. Good, we'll get to that. Don't worry. Big up the chat. Let's just get through a few of these. Zabiri with a £5 super chat. Big up Zabiri. Appreciate it, my friend. Zabiri, the links in the chat if you want to jump on as well, Zabiri. Hit the like. So, guys, I'll get some more in the chat in a moment. So let's talk about this first. We've got to talk about it. So we've got to look back at the Champions League final and what went wrong in that game, guys. Now, obviously, like I said, we sat there very confident at the beginning of the game. I was super confident anyway. I mean, I predicted 4-2. I look like a wolf. But I predicted a 4-2 win. And not because I was taking Real Madrid lightly, it's just because I believe in my football club and how good we are at this moment in time. So I thought, wow, we can bang in goals. And look, the game itself, the way it panned out, it was sort of similar to Liverpool-Everton a few weeks ago. I've said this for a while now. It was sort of similar to Liverpool-Everton a few weeks ago, but Real Madrid just had more quality in their game. So I just want to go around the panel here, starting with Ish. Champions League final, my man. Where do you think it actually went wrong for us? What was the reason for it? Go for it, my man.
All right. There's a few things in it. First of all, I think we played the occasion, but if I'm being real, we played the occasion. We didn't play at our best. We didn't really look right throughout the whole game. Obviously, we're all Reds in it, so I was kind of clinging on to hope that we was going to get a goal back. Even in the 90 whatever minute, Naby's doing foolishness. Like, I see a pass from Trent at the end as well. Like, it's just, I still believe till the end of it. But if I'm being real, we could have played there for about 2-3 hours. We weren't scoring. We weren't scoring at all, bro. Like Courtois had the game of his life. We need to get that straight in there first. Like man was man of the match for a reason. The save from Mane, world class. The save from Salah, world class. On any other day, 9 times out of 10, they're going in. We win the game 2-1. So we have to like set that one straight as well. But in terms of us, we didn't really impose ourselves on the game, man. We did not impose ourselves on the game. Thiago and Fab, they did all right, but we both know they weren't 100%, which I don't know. Some man can put that on Klopp, but if that's anyone else, they're playing them in the final. And if you've got half a chance with them, man, you got to play them both. Yeah. Partly because of their quality, partly because of what we got in backup. Like none of us were trying to see a midfield of like Hendo, Milner, and Keita in the Champions League. We none of us are trying to see that. If you see what I'm saying. So from when you're playing against Modric, Cruz, and Casemiro with 2 men who are like 60-70%, you're basically fighting with one arm behind your back in it. So there's many reasons. There's many reasons why we didn't win the game. I think our fullbacks, Trent especially, was not. He was quite good defensively. Obviously, people are trying to blame him for the goal, but for me, the cross was an amazing cross. We need to kind of give them props for that from Valverde, and you got to stop the source. Robbo went and pressed Modric for no reason. Modric popped around him, then they were in. So you kind of like, if you're going to look at Trent, you got to look at Robbo as well, in my opinion. So it's like that as well. And then like, I don't know, man. I just think we didn't get the tactics right. The subs were a bit weird. Bringing on Naby, I would have gone 4-2-4 from the jump. I wouldn't even have brought Naby on first. I think Bobby actually played kind of all right when he came on. Like at least the ball was sticking up front. They weren't really sticking up front at all before that. So like the subs were weird. So I got to give Klopp one for that. And then yeah, man, we just didn't play our best. But you got to give Madrid props as well. As a last point, I think they are, as much as we've got heritage, their heritage is different. They sit on a table on their own. 14 Champions Leagues that's mad. 5 and 9 years. Like we can't underestimate the fact that as much as we've got heritage, theirs is just greater than ours. So it's just one of those, isn't it? It's hard to take, obviously, but it's just one of those, man. Like I said, we played for 2 hours, we weren't scoring.
I agree.
To be fair, I could have just summed up by saying Bon Madrid. That's number one thought.
It's a good point because Real Madrid, they are still probably the greatest European side of all time. So we have to still. But when I watched the game, so I've watched the game back 3 times now. I don't know what I've done to myself. I've got study things.
You're a better man than me, bro. You're a better man than me.
You're a better man than me.
Oh,
Yeah, much better than me.
yeah, probably. But
I said probably.
Oh,
but no, I watched it back 3 times. I was like, I watched it back because I just wanted to see where it all went wrong for us. And I think the game, I'll get the Cal's opinion, I think the game was all about fine margins. It really was. I don't think there was a lot in it. Look, I've never seen a Real Madrid, me and Savage just spoke about it yesterday. I've never seen a Real Madrid team pay so much respect to the opposition in the European final in my life. Real Madrid paid Liverpool so much respect. They played like they were basically Burnley in a white kit. They sat back. They didn't let Liverpool try and break through the lines. They didn't want. But we did get our shots in. Courtois obviously had the game of his life, especially that save against Salah, where Salah took it down and went past Mendy, and he smacked it as hard and accuracy as he could to that far post. And that save for me is probably the best save in Europe this season in some ways because he shouldn't be saving that. But I'll get Cal's opinion on it. But for me, Saturday was all about fine margins, and I think we can look too deep into things sometimes where we're looking for answers where there doesn't need to be an answer, question answered, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree with fine margins. I agree with pretty much everything Ish said as well. I think for me, I know hindsight's a great thing, but I was saying it before the game as well. As much as I love Robbo, as much as I think Robbo is the best in his position in world, and the fact that he looked so leggy for about a month, and the fact that for me he wasn't in good form, I do think Tsimikas should have started. I think we need to break away from this mold of if you're a certain player, you have to start in certain games. Like for me, it's got to be on merit now. We've got a squad that for me dictates that if someone's out of form and someone else is in form, you play the person who's in form because the drop-off isn't horrendous like it used to be. Like from Robbo to Tsimikas, if Robbo's a 10 out of 10, Tsimikas is an 8 out of 10, for me, that's not a big drop-off. Like, we can handle that, especially with Valverde playing in that position as well, rather than an out-and-out winger. The goal could have been avoided from the source. Robbo went and pressed, didn't need to. Virgil and Fabinho were a little bit, well, not a little bit, they were too nonchalant, in my opinion, in getting to Valverde. But Trent, he's got to look behind, he's got to look around. From the moment that attack starts, Trent looks for Vinicius once. I said yesterday, Trent's head should have been like the Exorcist. It should have been non-stop spinning, looking for him, because he knows if you can't see him in front of you, the only other place he's going to be is behind you. So you've got to sort that out. You've got to find a situation. And the sad thing is, Trent was very good defensively in the game. And unlike him, he was poor offensively. But again, it shows the lack of depth in that particular position because we couldn't bring anyone on. But it also speaks about the midfield as well, which obviously I know, Jamie, we're going to speak about. But yeah, the midfield needs addressing, man, because the moment we saw Flacco go down in the Southampton game and we saw Thiago go down in the Wolves game, everyone just thought that, no, we don't need this. This is the worst thing possible. Whereas if, let's flip it. If Real Madrid had lost Modric and Cruz, they could throw in Valverde in the centre midfield. They can still bring in Camavinga. We obviously don't have enough trust in the rest of the players in midfield because you've got Elliott, Jones, Milner, and Naby. You've got 4 players. I personally didn't want to see any of those 4 players start, and it kind of says a lot.
Agree. I totally agree. Mons, so I heard I know you've done videos of it since, but looking back at this game, looking back at this game, like Cal said, you know, you got Tsimikas, maybe should have started, maybe. You know, you look at Robbo, he's been leggy. The midfield area we'll talk about in a bit as well. You can see issues there, and and the forward line looks a bit. You know, it's like we've got a submachine gun, but we're putting 9mm into it. Do you know what I mean? That's how it seems at the moment.
Do you know how I see it? Again, it's like I wouldn't even say a 9mm. I wouldn't even say a submachine gun. I think we're carrying around a light machine gun with 150 rounds, but we're firing sweet corn. It's not doing no damage. It's not doing no damage, bro. You know what I'm saying? Firing fingernails. What are you trying to penetrate? What are you trying to penetrate?
No, but low-key, that would hurt as well, though. It would hurt.
Yeah, remember them tail guns, man? Spud gun on that.
I'm sure Salah's shot hurt Courtois. They didn't go in. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
no, I'm not sure, punk man.
At the end of the day, like, it wasn't even, in hindsight, it wasn't a bad performance. It was just, I think I was on with James, big up Jerry James show, and when we was doing the watch along, I was like, yo, this game feels to me like we're playing like a Villa or an informed Wolves. This is how the game feels to me. It feels like they're sitting back and they're gonna pick their moments when they feel like they can break the lines and beat our press and see what they can do once they get a 3-on-4 opportunity. And that's literally what they done. It was, to me, again, it was more like it was like a juiced up Chelsea, you know, without the wing backs. That's how they were moving. Yeah. And for the goal especially, a lot of blame does go to Trent. I guess we're gonna have to spend another year defending the Trent agenda because of this. But at the end of the day, he needed to check his shoulder. As Callum said, checking your shoulder once, it's not good enough. No. But you have to look at Robbo pressing like a madman to begin with. Thiago and Fab letting a 5-yard pass come inside, beat 3 midfielders. It's just not good enough. Do you know what I mean? It's just not good enough. So, and the worst thing is, that was their one shot on target. The other one was the shot on target in the first half that deflected to Benzema. They had one shot. We were better than them. This is why I feel like, even though the loss hurt, for me, the Premier League one hurt more. I'm being honest. The Premier League one hurt more for me. But for this game, when I look at the low block that they put, we never really, as Ish said, we never looked like we was going to score. But we didn't play a bad game. I think in gear 1.5, maybe gear 2 when Bobby come on, we were still better than them in all cylinders. We was a better team than them. It was one of those days where it's a game of football, it's a final, it's a one-off. Courtois had the game of his life, and we never looked like scoring. They scored the one opportunity. Alisson didn't have to make a single save. So apart from the 2-on-1 at the very end when we threw the kitchen sink at it. So when you look at it in hindsight, it happens. I'll tell you guys something. Liverpool lost 4 games in all competitions this season. One of them was against Inter Milan. So arguably, you can duck that down to 3.
Yeah.
18-19, we lost 1 game in the league. 19-20, I think we lost 3 games or 4. But I don't even want to count the 4th because we were drunk. So you look at that, and across 3 seasons, we've lost 7 games. And we've walked away with 1 Premier League and 1 Champions League. And over 3 seasons, you're telling me we've lost 7 games. Every other team in the Prem, apart from City, every other team lost that in the Premier League alone. In the Prem alone.
Yeah.
So if we're not the most unlucky team alive right now, I don't know who is. But at the end of the day, it's not as catastrophic as people think, in the sense that if Real Madrid spanked us 3-0 first half past the pad over, then I can understand the meltdown that I'm seeing certain Liverpool fans having at the moment on the time, and I can understand it. But the fact that we played a good game and we was much better than this Real Madrid side.
That went over my head. Sorry.
You just snatched the pad for your boys.
That went over my head. No time.
But the fact that we played a good game, obviously not a great game, but we played a good game. We were still so much better than them. I don't feel like we're in as worse a position. I think we do need upgrades. We do need to replace the guys that are walking out the door, but at the same time, it's not as catastrophic as people think. We were 2 games away from completing football with this so-called incomplete squad. You know what I mean? 2 games away from completing football. We just fell short. It's not as bad as it looks, but our aspirations, I can see that our aspirations are higher now, which is what I love. So it hurts, but that's my outtake. Sorry, I took a long time.
100%.
No, you're great.
100%.
Or I just get the same to Savage, sorry. With the Trent thing, we said this yesterday. Me and Savage talking about it yesterday, Rods. And with Trent, I was always worried about Trent up against Vinny Jr. all week coming to that game. I know he was part of the reason, Vinny scored that goal, but take that away from it. Did Trent actually do the best out of all the right backs against Vinny Jr. in that championship?
I think he had a good game.
Yeah,
I don't remember Vinny skinning Trent at all, going past Trent.
No.
I thought Trent actually defended really well, and because
Kanate, a beast as well, by the way.
Yeah,
Kanate helps, by the way. Yeah, it's like me when I walk around with my best mate with 6'4". I think I'm up. You know what I mean? I'm only 5'8", so I'm like, yeah, I'm well up. And I've probably actually walked around the Uncle Verge on Kanate right now. Like, what you guys do?
It's true, though.
Kanate has to start next season.
I'm ready.
I disagree with that one. I'll be real, but
Listen, I love Matt, but I'm ready for him, man. I'm ready for him.
Every time I see Kanate play, I'm like, yes, I want to see that again. Really, what I want to see Kanate do is just pick people up and put them in his pocket for a laugh, like he did with Fred. That was just the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I grabbed my hair. I was just like,
We'll see where
like the points the boys have already said, and that it's game of fine margins. It weren't. I think people were looking at it too deeply. I mean, you get ridiculous articles like this one here. Absolutely ridiculous articles like this. Martin Samuel from the Daily Mail hasn't got absolute scoopy about football if he thinks that's true. It's just it's ridiculous what this football club is doing at this moment in time. Going up against a juggernaut Man City. Let's face it, Man City are a juggernaut. They're probably the best team in European football. They got one of the greatest generational coaches ever in Pep Guardiola, and and they got money to burn. I mean, if Liverpool spent £100 million on a footballer, he would have to work straight away. No, Jack Grealish, we can wait till next season. We'll see the real player. What other team can do £100 million and say them words? You know what I mean? And we're competing against that on a weekly basis, and we're the only team in England who can get anywhere near them. Do you know the reason Man City get 90-odd points every season is because if they don't, Liverpool win the Premier League. Yeah. That is why. Yeah. When Liverpool struggled last season and couldn't compete because everything that was going down, it was the worst season. No one wanted to watch football last year, let's face it. Yeah, it was a good thing is we're all at home, there's nothing else to do, and there's football all over the telly because what's happening. But in reality, when we look back on it, it was horrible, wasn't it? It was awful.
Yeah.
No one wanted to play it. Man United fans got a bit big for their boots because they're the only team that really, gave it a go because no one else could give a crap. And Man City finished on 80-odd points because they coasted the Premier League. They coasted it because Liverpool weren't able to challenge. As soon as Liverpool come back the following season, they're able to challenge. City have to hit the 90-point barrier. So I don't think Liverpool get enough praise for that because I don't know what it is. I don't know.
It's Liverpool tax. It's Liverpool.
Yeah, come on.
It's just Liverpool tax. Don't worry about all that. It comes to being a big club. That's why people want City to win because they don't mind them winning.
Yeah.
I used to dream of days like this. I used to want to be the most hated team. So
it's lonely at the top. So lonely at the top.
Yeah, I find it a compliment, to be fair. Savage, your opinions on what the boys have been saying as well?
Yeah, man. Let's get to that. On what you just said about Man City as well. I don't know if anyone saw done his interview earlier on Sky Sports. It sounded scary still. Their chairman, you hear what he said?
Yeah, they've been not done yet.
Man said we will not compromise in quality for one player. We'll go out and get him. Okay, it's game over. Anyway. Bro, that sounded mad to me, bro. Sounded like tax avoidance, but the Champions League, man. Yeah, I agree. I agree with all the man them still. Like, fine margins. It's not as catastrophic as everyone thinks. You know what I mean? Especially if you isolate the one game, which is what we probably should do. And it's kind of that with the Trent defending on that goal as well. If you isolate it as that one-off game, yeah, it's bad defending, and it's bad defending from everyone. But he's the last line of defense there. And if Trent didn't have traits of doing that before, I don't think everyone would be going on about it as much. To be honest, I kind of give him the benefit of the doubt just because like it's a team game. I think as much as he let that happen, we still need to score goals anyway. Like we couldn't have won by losing 1-0. We needed to score a goal in that game at some point. The worry was that what Trent done, not looking over his shoulder. I've seen him do that. He's done it against Villarreal as well. And there was one when he just didn't jump up for a header. He just watched it when Coquelin jumped. He just watched him. So
he looked as well. He's like, it's just all my man.
Yeah,
job. I was like, yes,
exactly. But in terms of defending, it was one of his best defensive performances. Apart from that, going forward, again, if you isolate it, it was a little bit less. Usually, we're talking about not being clinical. This one seemed like the shots were on target, and this Don just kept saving everything. And then the midfield, I was fine in the first half, but I knew that we needed a goal before half time. And arguably, I said to Jamie that goal what Benzema scored, what got disallowed, which realistically, like, even though we're Liverpool fans, that's a stupid rule, man. It should have been a goal. It didn't even make sense to me. But I would have rather that have been the goal. I reckon if we went into half time losing 1-0, we would have came out and we would have changed something. The issue I have is that, I don't know, when it comes to changing the midfield, does anyone really get excited about it? Like, I said to Jamie, I put a message in the chat earlier about Keita coming on, and I love the guy, man. Like, but he doesn't fill me with any excitement. Like, when I see him warming up to come on, I'm like, okay, Keita's going to come on. He's not going to do anything. Like, I don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, and I don't want to diss the guy in that.
You know what Keita is? You know what Keita is? You know when you're in a nightclub, you dance with a girl and you think, yeah, she's all right, yeah? And then the end of the night comes, you've been supplying with drinks all night. You think, yeah, she's all right about me. You turn the lights on and she looks like your brother. That is what... That's
100% facts, bro. Jamie, I swear, I was literally going to say, Naby gives me the vibes of when you're ready to split up with a girl, like you're not interested anymore, and she comes in with new lingerie and that, and I'm just like, I'm watching Match of the Day. Like, if I'm awake when I'm done, then we'll see who I go on in it. But I'm watching Match of the Day. If you fall asleep, you fall asleep.
It's true, though. It's true. You've been hanging on to Naby.
There's just nothing going to happen, bro. Like,
it's been too long, bro. Like, I've seen this trick before.
Yes. 100, bro. The match gave me vibes of Leicester 1-0 when Lookman scored. 100% it gave me them vibes, like, and it gave me losing to Real Madrid in the Champions League before, when I looked at the bench and seen that we had injured Alana, Chani wanted to leave, and Solanke, and I was just watching the game like, okay, nothing's gonna change. We need a penalty or something. So you're right, it's not as catastrophic as it feels. It is fine margins. we played pretty good as well, but kind of is what it is, isn't it, man? Like, just gotta look forward, I guess. It's sad. It just feels like a missed opportunity more than anything. It doesn't feel like we've been battered or anything, or just feels missed opportunity. Especially how great we've done all season. You would prefer the slip up to be in a random league game somewhere where it's a draw and that, and then we can win this game and get over the line. But yeah, it was a tough one to take, man. But I'm kind of with Monson. The league bothered me a little bit more, to be honest. This one just felt like, oh my god, whatever. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel on it, Murad. Yeah, I'll be picking at stuff if I'm going to say anything else on it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think it's that deep. We just played a juggernaut in the European side. Look, do I think we're better than Real Madrid now? I still do think we're better than Real Madrid. I think we played Real Madrid 10 times. I don't think we'd lose. I think we'd lose 2 out of 10. And I just think we're a better side than them. And on the day, the Real Madrid just know how to win finals. It don't matter if they're a weaker team than they've been for years, a strong team. It's like they just know how to win finals. It's like Brazil and World Cup finals, ain't it?
Did you see how shocked Ancelotti was at the end of the game when they asked him how does he feel, and he kept saying, "I can't believe it." That's all he kept saying. He can't believe it. This guy took intel from Everton over to Madrid and played the same.
He did
with better players. This is exactly what he done.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, he had the audacity. Like, it's the thing is, I like that because certain managers would have had the audacity to be like, "Yes, it was my plan. Yeah, it was the tactics. They worked." And like, he actually like, you get it? He was just as shocked as everyone else was in it. Like,
yeah.
So don't call her in it. You gotta respect his thing in it.
Mons, what Indian manager was that you were talking about there?
I don't know. I don't know.
Man said Apu All Stars, you know. Come on.
Rods, my man, your thoughts listening to the boys there.
Once makes me laugh, it gives me joke. That's why I always watch his channel. It gives me jokes. You know, Cal, big up yourself, General.
Big up, Rods.
You done all the things set already, dog.
Yes,
you see
bro. Yes, bro.
Yeah. Savage, big up on yourself.
That's up, Rods. Come on.
Go, sir, man. Listen, sorry, brother. Big up yourself, brother. Up top, sir. Go, sir.
Ish, yeah.
Listen, the thing is about with Trent, he's played well, but what is it today when you're playing Real Madrid and you're up against Vinicius Jr., you have to switch on all the game. You cannot have a lapse of concentration in the game. You have to be switched on all game. Anything that you can't say apart from him letting the guy get past him, he did have a good game, but you have to be switched on all game and everything that. I think the passing needs to be quicker. Do you know what I mean? Because what's actually happening has been happening for a long time, and even before Klopp's come, is that the build-up in midfield is too slow. And I think that now, if you're playing a team that's got the low block and I think that, right, it's going to give them time to get back and defend. Do you know what I mean? And that's what Real Madrid had that time to get back and defend. You know what I mean? So when Liverpool was ready to put that through ball in, there's already 10 man there. He was never getting through. Do you know what I mean? Salah, at the end of the day, as I said yesterday, Salah's the sort of person in the day, he's become too predictive now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he's become too predictive. You know exactly what he's going to do. That's why they had 2 man on him. You see how they had 2 man on him and we couldn't really do much. Do you understand what I'm saying? In respects of Salah and Mane and everything that, I'm being honest with you and everything that, I'd rather see Salah go than Mane. I'm telling you. Because Mane does, if you look at what Mane does in a game, he does more than what like Salah does. Do you know what I mean? Does much more than what Salah does and everything that. Going forward in the day, right, we've got too much midfielders. So going forward and for that, you're gonna need to sort of like get a striker and cut out the midfielders and stuff and everything that. Do you know what I mean? I think we need an out and out striker that's gonna sort of like, you know, really gonna get us to goals and stuff, you know what I mean? But you know, the game the other night was just one of these things and everything that, and we just have to sort of like, you know, we just have to deal with it. As Mont said and everything that, probably the league hurt more than what the Champions League did. Do you know what I mean? I would have said I would have rather the league than the Champions League. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
that's the way it goes and everything that. But we do need at the end of the day an out and out striker. Much less than sort of like wingers come strikers. We need an out and out striker at the end of the day. is prolific, that's going to get us like between 20 and 25 goals a season. Do you know what I mean? Because people like Salah is getting worked out. Every game he's getting worked out. He can't do what he usually does. And everything like that. When Salah first came in, I think that he's prolific. And everything that, do you know what I mean? But now when you look at his game now and everything that, right, it's like, well, there's no surprise. There's no surprise. But still a good player still, but you know what I mean? He needs to change his game. That's what I say. He needs to change his game and give something different because he's just getting every game that they decide to sort of like employ the low block and so forth. They just say, like, you know what? We're going to put 2 men on Salah. We'll put 2 men on Salah and everything that, and then Liverpool will be quiet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So something's got to change in that respect.
Can I add to the point of the Salah point? I think I wouldn't quite say Salah's been worked out because Salah's had 2 men on him since he bagged 44 in all comps, innit? Like Salah's had 2. The day he scored 44, bust the Premier League record, he's had 2 free men on him. And obviously he's still bagging in 20 plus. I think the issue is this season I've seen a lot less overlap from Trent. Like Trent seems to have been crossing from deep right back position. Like he's crossing the ball from the deep right back position. You know the Aspie to Morata type of angle. Very deep cross into the box almost, rather than crossing the ball from actually like the right wing position. Go on, Cal. Go on.
I hate to say it, and I'm not even trying to pile on because I love the guy. Trent's becoming a bit lazy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
Because he knows how good he is with the pass.
Do you man agree that there's less overlaps from Trent?
Yeah.
Monts, I literally said it last night on the channel.
I read something recently though that was like a deliberate tactic because I don't know. The thing I read was that they're trying to build those triangles. You see, at the beginning of the season when we had Harvey in there, Harvey, Mo, and Trent was working.
Nice, yeah.
Harvey got injured. That just is unfortunate, innit?
Yeah.
Hendo's obviously come back into that right-hand side role, and I don't think Hendo's even got the legs that he used to have anymore. So there's times, I'm gonna be real, there's times where I can see Hendo can make the overlap and he doesn't do it. Yeah. So you've got no one overlapping.
He's still done it more times than Trent though. That's what's so.
Yeah.
I think it's a tactic though. I think Trent's actually been
told
to do this inside. For me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Was it Southampton we played against when we had Taki and Elliott? Is that who we played?
Yeah.
Does everyone agree that them two playing together was more exciting than Salah's been in the last couple of months? Because I noticed the overlap and getting in behind straight away in that game.
Do you know what it is? I just feel like realistically now, either it's tactical and Klopp has told Trent to, hang back a bit, especially because he's got Vinicius to deal with. It's probably that could have been a thing where he's told Trent don't be as robust. But me personally, it's not the first game I've seen Trent not overlap Salah. Do you know what I mean? I've seen this in a few games now.
Been all season.
Yeah, and the thing is, Trent did overlap Salah one time, and the one time he did, Salah's actually able to cut in and he shoots, and Courtois has to pull off a very good save. You know the one I'm talking about, where it was going far post. He's actually able to, and that was off one overlap, and the overlaps mean a lot, in my opinion. I think Diaz is just so good he doesn't need the overlap because he's so good as an out-and-out winger. But Salah, let's understand that he's not built like normal wingers all the time, so he's not always going to roast his man, especially after the shoulder thing. He's not always going to be how he was in 2018. So I think that's why maybe Klopp's kind of got maybe Henderson trying to do it instead. But that then takes a man out of midfield. I don't know. I'm not really liking that tactic right now. I think that until Trent starts to overlap Salah again, I don't think Salah gets back to how he was, unfortunately.
I think Cal's right. I think I agree with what Cal said, to be honest. I think there's 2 parts to it. There's one part I don't think the Real Madrid game is a representation of the whole thing, but you're right. In previous games, we found Trent like in midfield, just chilling, ready to play the ball from there. And I've seen Klopp screaming at him on the sideline as well, so I don't know. I don't think he's meant to be there. And then the other thing with the overlap, and everyone who's played football will know that, and it is a lazy thing, and he's a Premier League footballer, but when you keep making the overlap, and then the geezer just doesn't give you the ball ever. Yeah. And Salah does that cut in on the left foot thing, and it doesn't work that often anymore. Like first season, it works nearly every time. This season, I've seen him score once off it. So I think Trent's like, he ain't gonna give me the ball if I run down there, but it's kind of you kind of can't make that decision. You kind of have to do it and see what happens. It is a bit lazy.
True.
But Savage.
Christ, that guy.
Man said Salif Joe, you know, Jesus.
I just want to say hello to Jack.
That's deep.
Jack's in the house. How you doing, Jack? Hope you're doing well.
That's
my
Nice
friend.
one, Jay. Thank you for the invite. How you doing?
Oh, your
boys?
voice sounds better today. You've been on the lens.
Yeah. It's not good. My dad's done his back in as well, so I was been looking after him. Although putting up all the tents for the weekend. But cheers for having me on, mate. And that's all I had to say. I don't know, off the back of what the lads just said then, Trent, as we said, was it the Tottenham game where Trent has come a bit more central in terms of that game? And obviously when I've won the game or when you used to watch the telly, it's quite obvious, and it'd be interesting to see how we do dive into next season. And we always have to back up Trent. There's fans out there and rival fans, and as lads have said, in the final, he needs to be checking his corners, checking around them, head on a swivel. But it's that debate: do you leave Trent right back for his whole career, or do we? Because obviously in the academy he was more or less a right midfielder down that right, so he's got that tendency to really. But it's interesting. Mate.
It's a difficult one. You're right, Jack. That I think discussions might be happening on other Liverpool YouTube channels as well about Trent Alexander-Arnold maybe going into midfield, because he has all the ability in the world, don't he? Let's face it, he has all the ability in the world. I mean, I don't just call him one of the best right backs in the world no more. I just say he's one of the best footballers in the world because he has all this ability. And it would take away that part of the issue, and you get a natural right back to fit into that area, and you get Trent as this midfielder. Look, we've got no one who can hammer in goals from distance. The only midfielder really on our books that can hammer in a goal from distance is the Ox. And, you know, we were talking about midfield. We're going to talk about midfielders in a minute. And we were talking about midfielders yesterday, and a ball carrying midfielder or a midfielder that can arrive late onto. Because we've got no one. Also with Robbo and Trent, everyone goes on about we spam crosses a lot and stuff like that because we're trying to get these goals. But if you notice, there's never a midfield runner into the box onto these crosses.
Never.
And that's becoming a bit of an issue now. I think that's starting to become an issue. I think we've been getting away with it for a while, but now I think it's becoming a bit of an issue. And we need, I know we're always been about the workhorse midfield. Might as well just get onto midfielders. Let's just talk about it. Because we've been a workhorse midfield, and I think we need to be a more technical midfield. I think Klopp needs to change it a little bit. I think we need to go almost like City's midfield, like that, and more attacking-minded players. Go on, Cal.
All right, so I think I've solved midfield in my mind, but you guys might shut this down.
I need to hear this, bro.
I've got a Professor X in you. Come on.
Anyone from Walker, please. No, come on.
This is either going to be raw. Get Cal off the show or get Cal a job with there's no in between with this one.
Go for it, Cal.
Check it. So when we have our midfield set up, we go with the three in the middle, right? So you've usually got Hendo or Fabinho at the base. For me, that's absolutely fine. I don't think we need to change anything there. The left of the three is usually the controller or someone who's seen as the less progressive midfielder. So that's usually Thiago, Milner, and sometimes Jones, who plays on the left of the three, right? And then on the right of the three, Keita plays there sometimes. But on the right of the three is Naby, Elliott, and Hendo. And they're the ones seen to do the overlap or get into the box or perceived to be doing that. Because of Trent's lack of defensive awareness sometimes, I think we need to switch those two. So I think the right-hand side of midfield needs to become the controller. And I think the left has to be the more progressive side because Robbo and Tsimikas seem to be absolutely fine, bombing up and down and not really getting caught out too much. I think by doing that, it alleviates some of the pressure on Trent. Also gives Salah a little bit more extra as well because by having a controller there, you're drawing out one of the midfielders, which will make it harder for him to get doubled up on. Now, that being said, in midfield, we've got Thiago, who obviously everyone's keeping. It seems like Milner's going to get an extension. I'll keep my opinion to myself on that one, even though I love the guy. I think we need two central midfielders because I think Carvalho will be playing as an understudy to Diaz next season. So I think we need Basuma and Fabio Vieira. Basuma can do the role of both controller or destroyer if need be. And Fabio Vieira can do the role that Bernardo Silva effectively does for City. And I think you have Vieira, Elliott, and Jones for the right of the for the left-hand side of the three. And you have Thiago, Basuma, and Milner for the right-hand side. And I think we're good then.
I agree, man.
Sign me up.
Can I add something in? Can I add something in there?
Go to.
I think you're spot on. This isn't, in fact, it's actually not got much to do with what we said, actually. Basically, I think basically but no, it is part of what to do with what you said because it's part of your favorite player and my favorite player. I think we were able to have a workhorse midfield simply because Bobby Firmino was that. That was the difference. Now that we don't have a Bobby Firmino, because even Bobby Firmino is not Bobby Firmino anymore. So now that we don't have a Firmino, now you need someone in that midfield to become more creative. I think if you have a false nine that is as good as what Firmino was doing back in 2017, 2018, 2019, then you can afford to have three midfielders who don't really offer too much, going forward, scoring goals, because then all of a sudden your wingers are chipping in with enough goals for the team to thrive. But once you take Mane out the left wing, put him up front, Diaz isn't really the guy who's going to get you the most output. Suddenly we're all relying on Salah's goals. He drops form. Where are the goals coming from? A moment of magic from Mane.
Harold Kane. That's where the goals are coming from.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Where are the goals coming from? So as I said, I think the second you like what you said, Carl. You either go and get a creative midfielder in there, switch the controllers round, or you get someone who can be Bobby Firmino all over again, and then you no longer really need. I don't know, a De Bruyne or Gundogan or someone or Borelli. You no longer need that. Yeah,
I still want a midfielder who gets goals though.
Yeah,
it
would be nice. 100%. It would be nice to have both. Personally,
I'm not saying anymore. I need both.
Yeah, but FSG stands for forget good signings. So you gotta remember that. You gotta be very careful.
That's FGS. That's FGS.
I swear you're a teacher, bro. What's going on?
You're an English teacher.
Revisionism's baffling, man. What's going on?
Saint. Let's welcome Saint.
Big up Saint, man.
Big up Saint.
What's good? I've been having some personal issues as Cal and Jamie know, but I've been in the chat and I've been listening in that. And big up everyone. Great show. I'm just gonna start it off in it like I'm fuming, bro. Like everyone seems to be real cool. Like, nah, brother, I'm pissed, bro. Like I don't understand what's going on here. Like we're all sitting here just fucking like that, like you're just watching your dude. Like, what's going on? I'm fuming. I'm actually, my head is fucking hot, bro. Like, I just don't understand. People are like, and listen, it's all opinions. We're all different. I get it, but this is where my opinion comes in, and I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand what there is to be so gleeful about. Like, listen, we haven't had a bad season and all of that, but let's not sit here and just start. Do you know what I mean? Just looking at just that doesn't make no sense, bro. I'm fuming over this what's it called? This Champions League thing. I'm pissed, bro. Bear man are like, it was okay, wasn't so bad. Are you fucking crazy, bro? I'm fuming, bro. Don't take the piss, bro. Like Jamie said, if we play these man are dead food. If we play these man 10 times, we beat them 12. That's how dead they are. Like, I don't understand, bro.
Oh yeah, like, we had let me finish, bro. Because man are out here talking about it's all good and like our squad was 2 games off of a quad and that. No, we wasn't, bro. Our squad was not 2 games off of a quad, brother. Our immaculate manager done that, but he had no faith in our squad. Don't tell me this, brother. Fabinho, like Callum said, right, because he's one of the guys that he's been telling me, brother, you're in Scotland. Like, maybe you can see Robbo better than we can because he's looking leggy, I said, no, brother, he's looking as leggy over here as he's looking over there, big man. Like, trust me. All right, I'm saying this on my channel. Like, Fabinho is looking done out. Like, relax. Let's give this guy a little break. No, you want to bring him on, and then people talking about Thiago, yeah? Like, bro,
you knew what Thiago was when you got him. When we got him, we knew the limitations in terms of his fitness. Now, and I use people like shout out Ish and that people have heard this before, but this is what it's like to me. This is exactly what it's like to me. Callum, yo, Nick, big man, I got the cheat code for FIFA, you know, bad boy thing, R1, do you know what I mean? Up, down, D-pad. I said, swear down, it dones the game off quickly. I've got a 3-year-old daughter. All my 3-year-old daughter and all her dickhead friends come in. These are the people I'm using the cheat code on. Like, what's going on, bro? These are the man that I'm using the fucking. So I can't be asked to play the game. I just want to you know what? Move, like X, Y, and then Callum comes now. Now the fucking pad's broken because man, bro, we should never have allowed a man like Thiago to have worked his way into the seam of our brother. If you can't beat fucking Wolves without Thiago, give it up, bro. We're not as good as we think we are. Like, to have a Thiago, yeah. When you say like, when you know, like when you have that pang, like the t-shirt, you're like, brother, that don't even come out on a Sunday. Like, I know when the occasion comes, that's the first piece of garment that's gonna come to my head. Brother, there isn't a fucking event in the world, yeah, bar his marriage and the birth of his children, that you don't think of Thiago before a Champions League final. Big man, what are you fucking talking about? Carabao Cup and them thing there. What's going on? You should know the mismanagement of our squad, and I love Klopp. I don't want people out here doing Klopp's my dad. He'll beat me when I go back in for talking reckless. But listen, yeah? The mismanagement has been mad. Certain people are telling me, I feel out of order that Thiago, because he's so good that, like, yeah, I get that. But bro, like a couple man has said, we are so rigid, it's outrageous. Bro, the fact that Carlo Ancelotti laughs at man, like Monts is like, yeah, he could have done the whole big thing and said that, you know, bro, he did, big man. He said to us, hey, you man were fucking light work revision, you know. Hey, preparing for you, man, the lightest work. But that is a mockery, and we went, all right, yeah, we can play.
Yeah, the low block is hardest to get. I'm sorry, bro. Like, the low block is easy to beat us, though, bro. Let's be honest, bro.
No, it's not. No, we got finesse.
That's not finesse, bro. That's an easy way of getting out of it. Oh, the low block, because of the low block. It never existed before we played. And like, brother, Man City, we all have to face a low block. We all have to face a low block. Any team that is not in the top 10 or low blocking man that are. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I can't hear that argument anymore. I can't hear that.
Guys, exactly. It's dead. It's actually dead.
Either we buy a man who can just rasp on top bins and then low block anything, or someone who can do
we start to do a different tactic. Like, I don't know everything about football, but in my head, like one touch, you move. Movement beats low block. Man follow you, there's space before they know it, rot it. Like, you flood the box so that the cutbacks are just there. We have to change. Can't sit there and then think that, because I feel like certain parts of the fan base are like, and we did well. We did really well. I don't want to hear failure season and all that. We did really well, but enough of this, mate. We were amazing. Like, what? Like, nah, brother, we're facing Thanos, and I don't want to be in this position next year. That's what I'm done with. Big up, everyone.
Big up, man. Hey.
Anyway, Saint, how was your day?
I'm not even gonna lie. I've had a mad one. I've had a mad day. I've been stewing on certain things, so I've just been like, Well, listen, I'm not always like this. I'm actually quite cool. You know what I mean? I just needed to get out, bro. I just need to get out. Like, I need, bro. I'm 30 plus, bro. Like, we've got the manager. I've never had a manager. I wasn't around Bob Paisley and them times. This manager is the best we're ever gonna have. Some of the best players that we're ever gonna have. Like, allow it, Rods. Don't have that. But do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yo, big man. Hold on, big man.
I love Rod.
Big man. I'm 52 years old in it, bro.
Yeah.
Big man. I'm 52 years old in it. I'm 52 years old. I'm 53 in August.
All of us, brother.
So I come from them days, blood. Come from them days. So big man around there, king.
Big up everyone inside, man. Great show.
Come on.
Big up yourself. Right, Jack, my man. Your turn to have a rant. Can you match it? Go.
Spot on. And I hate to keep on bringing it up, but I was sat in Newcastle surrounded by a load of Spurs fans. But that was obviously the Spurs. And that game, and obviously the first half of the season, we all know them. Everyone said all season, we know the points that we dropped, but the lads are spot on in the analysis, really. From a data analysis in terms of, obviously, Julian Ward going into next season, they know exactly who they want to get in terms of a goal output, or Gerrard. I think that when all of us were watching, we were all doing live stream watch-alongs, that City game, as soon as they got their first goal, you knew, yes, you can talk about the players that they've come off the bench, but Icon Gundogan, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, they all chip in with goals. As you've all said, apart from Fabinho, if it's a long ranger against City, or Henderson, Kehler against Chelsea, they're very far and in between goals. It's, as the lad just said, we need to invest heavily in a goal-scoring midfielder. If a newer name, the midfielder I'd like, but he's not a goal-scoring midfielder, is Barella. Especially you'd give that protection down that right-hand side in terms of when you're statistically from a defensive press and from a defensive press in terms of a creative attacker / centre forward sense would be Christopher Nkunku from RB Leipzig anyway. But it's going to be interesting how we do approach next season. We need to replace Mane. Mane was that man for the big occasion against City in the semi. Over the last 4, 5, 6 year period, Mane was the man. If it wasn't Salah turning up, it was always Mane scoring those bigger games. And we lost Origi in terms of his goal output. So you take Mane and Origi's goals away from this team next season. It's so obvious what we need. But it's... And then you got Haaland coming in next season. I know he's got his injury record, but the games against Crystal Palace, City, the ball was just going across the 6-yard line. It's like Haaland will gobble them up. As bad as it is, and it will be, they could be even better next season. That's a scary prospect. As good as we can be, we need to be better than this season. And I wish I knew the answers. I wish all of us knew the answers, but thank God we've got Jurgen Klopp, as the lads have said tonight, and thank God we've got the recruitment process in which we've had in the last 5, 6 years. That's allowed us to be competing on a level of in which we've seen. But yeah, goal scoring midfielder, mates. If I knew a name, I've seen a couple of European games. I'm not in a City and say I've seen a player when he haven't. So it will be interesting, mates.
So we need to check ourselves into rehab, bro. You know, like we need to stop being them guys on the side of the road selling cannabis, bro. Because all we have is a bag of drawers and possession, bro. Like, and it needs to stop. So we don't lose games, bro. You know, like that. Like we don't lose games,
draws, bro.
Too many draws. Bro, just looking like IKEA. Like, allow it, bro. Like, we need to... Well, and this is what I'm saying, is like, we don't lose games, so we could go out and for me, draws are as bad as... They're worse than losses now. Do you know them ones there? Like, they're what's actually been crippling us. And if we don't do something and turn these draws into, like, actual wins where we're going to be in the same position.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we lost one and won one, we would have won the Premier League. That's
See what I'm saying? It's the same last season.
Mate,
same
worst thing is the draws are nothing new, innit? We've been doing this since 2009, bro.
Rafa as well, mate. Remember that season?
Yeah.
Rafa season. What was it?
Yeah.
So, Ish, midfielders. Who do you think we need? Names of midfielders you think could be good in this Liverpool side, or names that you think, knowing Liverpool, FSG, the way they work, they would be looking.
Yeah, there's two very different.
Yeah. What happened to Naby?
I'm ready. Listen, I'm ready to talk. We'll save that one for the end of it. I know, because I know we're going to touch on that later on, but I'm ready to spit bars.
That's when I substitute myself for a man like Matt. Still,
Listen, Matt's my guy as well, but Matt don't want to hear. Matt don't want to hear what I'm saying.
I'm not gonna lie. I ain't saying nothing about Naby on there. Matt knows everything.
If you say Naby's name 3 times in the mirror, Matt will appear. So just
you'll just see Matt behind me, and then you'll see my camera go blank.
just eating. Hey, what you man say? You man say something about Naby?
My life's too short.
Don't kill me. But yeah, midfielders. I'm trying to see goals in it. I'm trying to see a midfielder that can 20 yards from goal, doesn't even think about trying to pop it out wide to one of the fullbacks. He's just
Maddison.
That this is why you're my guy, bro. Because he's one I'm thinking. Yeah, I like what this guy's on. From the goal scoring point of view, like I mentioned. Also, as much as I love Trent, we need someone else who can take set pieces, free kicks from in and around the box.
We need someone. Don't stop it, Ish, because you know it ain't. Well, he's that bad now. Allow it, bro. Move over.
I'm not trying to see man on free kicks next season. If I'm being real,
move over.
With your ability, one a season is not good enough. I'm sorry, one is not good enough. 80% of them hit the wall. Like I'm not trying to see it. Or I just want variation in it, because now if you get a free kick, Hendo, I love you, bro, but don't even think about stepping to the ball. Salah's not really a free kick man. We haven't really got anyone, so I'm trying to see someone who can take a set piece next year. So I think Maddison can do that as well.
Free kick, but they ain't trying to let him nowhere near it. I don't understand why.
Bro, the knee, bruv, the knee. I'm not trying to see Virgil try and just hammer a ball from.
But you know the wickedest thing is. You know the wickedest thing is. Yeah, Maddison. We'll get Maddison, and and Trent will slap the next 5.
Bro, I'm cool with that then. But you need a bit of competition. I'm cool with that. Look how Robbo patterned up when Simicast came in.
Exactly it, bro. You know
that's what I'm trying to see. Other than that, Cal Shout and Vieri is a great one. I think a left-footed midfielder is something we don't have at the moment. None of our midfielders are left-footed. I think we're missing that sort of balance. Yeah, bro. He's been a myth this second half of this year. I think next season I'm expecting to see a lot better from him, but we need someone who can kind of just cut in from either the left or the right and just bend one top in. I haven't seen that since Coutinho, bro. We all talk about Ox, but if we're being real, listen, Saint knows my views on Ox. We haven't seen that kind of Ox fully since 17-18.
Big facts, bro.
It's like
I told you his missus puts better.
Can't be talking about
bro. Little mixed thing.
We're talking about man from the New Balance days, bro. We ain't been New Balance for a minute, bro. We've been like for a good couple of seasons.
Can I? Ox. Shout out Callum, yeah. But Callum wasn't even the top one, bro. Callum was number 2. Ox was my biggest inspiration to start this YouTube thing. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you.
Man, come like one influencer. Listen, when we did them corn videos on the website and that, we can keep around for that. But otherwise, bro, I'm not trying to see you in that 22, 23 squad photo. I'm not trying to see it. I really don't want to see that. But
anyway, when you get into Vox, you delete everything I said about him, bro.
I love the guy, but sometimes you gotta just say, listen.
Nah, I love the guy. He's a good guy.
You done your thing, but just part ways. You don't want it to get sour in it. We're not a fan base who likes to get. I personally, I don't like to think of us as like a toxic fan base. So I'd rather you just go do your thing somewhere else. Similar to how Lingard went to West Ham and started moving mad. Do that. I'll be happy. I'll be happy for you over there in it. But we've kind of progressed on from him. So yeah, midfielder like that, and I want someone robust as well, man. I need a midfielder like a genie who I'm just like, I can rely on you to play 40 to 50 games a season, no questions asked. Not I can't play you here because if I play you there, you might get injured, bro. We can't have too many of the players. Availability, man. We've got two at the moment. We've got Fab gets injured, Thiago gets injured, Hendo gets injured, Ox gets injured, Keita gets injured. What is this, bro? We're trying to build a house with flipping biscuits, bro. Like, what's going on? I need robustness and I need 20 yards from goal. Can you do something? And then I think we're good, man. I think we're good.
No,
Tchouaméni, I'm not giving up on you yet either.
I agree. Jesus, I was saying to Tchouaméni, he's going around 100 million. 100 million.
No, we'll get the price down. Monaco needs money, I swear.
80 million and 20 million in bonuses, apparently. It's just when it was 50 million, Liverpool were like, I mean, that's fine. But
wait,
80 and 20
price of the brick went up.
Is he actually going? Is he going Real Madrid? Is that what it's
Madrid had doubled their offer apparently today.
So we lost the final, we lost Tchouaméni, and we lost Mane. When it rains, it pours, fam. I swear to God.
Can I ask a quick question? Tchouaméni this year or Bellingham next?
Ooh. What are we getting this year, though? I need to know what we're getting this year.
I need to know what we're getting.
That's it. You don't know. Do
It's not WWE.
Saying that question was, what do you want tomorrow to eat? Do you want Chinese tomorrow, and but I need to know what I'm eating today because I might not see you tomorrow. So
I hear that.
Well, we're
Like,
using food vouchers today to eat tomorrow.
Next season, Salah's will turn in 33. Thiago's will 33 next season.
Yeah.
So
Don't even say, hey, Mons, that's uncomfortable conversations, bro. Let's leave them ones out, man. Virgil's gonna be what? Like, I'm not trying to hear that kind of chat right now. Bro. Relax, bro.
It's not like time's running out or anything.
I'm not trying to hear that, bro.
Obviously, when we look at our midfield, if we look at our midfielders, we do have
really quickly, Jamie. So I've just done a little bit of maths and that. This is
Callum, what you got the Excel spreadsheet, big man?
Callum's serious.
So I tell you what, I wanted to work out just the disparity in it. So correct me if I'm wrong here, guys. Our midfielders this season have been Fabinho, Hendo, Thiago, Keita, Milner, Jones, Elliott, Knox, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Out of the combination of all of them, they've scored around 22 goals. Yeah. Man City's, if again adding a name, if you feel free to.
In all comps, yeah.
All
Don't
comps.
do it, man.
I know.
There's a bit of tax on this.
Horrible.
There's a bit of tax on this.
So I've got Rodri.
No striker tax, Cal.
We ain't got a striker.
They have no striker tax.
We ain't got a striker.
No, but hear me. Rodri, Fernandinho, Gundogan, Silva, De Bruyne. Those are pretty much their only midfielders. The rest kind of play attack. Bernardo, yeah.
Oh yeah.
They've scored 46 goals between them.
We're done out here, bro.
Nah. Plus,
Just quickly. We forget as well. Fab got bear of those 22 that we got were Fab just getting pens and them tappers get huge.
And also,
them guys are scoring clutch goals. Them guys are
and before you go on,
title winning goals, bro.
And before you go on, you know that we all said, everyone was like, oh, we just want someone that can slap 30 up. Out of them 44 goals, how many of them were outside the box?
Tapping. So he scored tapping.
Yeah, fair.
Rodri's probably outside the box.
Rodri got a couple.
But that's why I said how many. Not a lot, though. Not a lot.
No, not a lot.
No. But Cal, can I just say how? Like, I hear the midfield comparison, but how many did their front line get, and how many did our front line get? And include Jota's goals, by the way. Number 20 still counts.
I'd have to work that out more.
Well, the thing with City's front line.
I gotta get back to the spreadsheet now.
Because we scored way more than their front line.
But Monts, can I ask you, what does it matter if they scored more goals than us in totality and they won the league?
No, I'm just saying it's a rebound.
Like, why are we doing a dick measure? Why are we doing a dick measuring test? Like, oh well, our forwards scored more than them. Like, this is what I mean. I'm like, brother,
no, because Callum said their midfielders have doubled our goals basically. So I'm saying, but our front line has scored more goals than their front line. Their top scorer in their front lines on like 15 goals. Our number 20, who I don't even rate, has more goals than Morris. So
I guess the truth that would be,
you not rather have there's a whole spread out there. There's a spread out about 8 man.
And this is what shows you, yeah, that we rely heavily on our front line, and this is what I'm saying is that this is precisely why I'm like this is the limitations to the style in which we're playing at the moment. Like, let's allow like one person going for golden boot, bagging for brother. Let's start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To put into context here, guys, Fabinho was our top goal scoring midfielder with 8 goals. Keita was second with 4. Thiago and Ox on 3. And Ox got a couple of his goals playing in the front line, so even that's a bit technical.
Yeah, that's a bit.
It's a bit higgy still. Yeah.
Rodri got 7, so he was actually bettered by Fabinho, and Hendo got 3, and he bettered Fernandinho. Our DMs have done their jobs in terms of goal scoring. Gundogan got 8, Silva got 11, and KDB got 18.
Jesus.
But here's the killer. De Bruyne, his stats are kind of padded because if I'm not mistaken,
he was false 9
and the Wolves. He got 7 in those 2 games, didn't he?
Yeah.
And also he was playing false 9 as well. So we got someone. He played false 9. So if we're gonna do that with Ox's goals, we've got to do that with De Bruyne's goals a little bit as well.
Yeah, Callum, I think the biggest stat is probably out of their midfielders, it's the clutch goals, isn't it? It's when and
to be fair
to them, I've seen Rodri bang there to win the game.
And I think the main thing, is their most important movable piece. Their most important movable piece is KDB, so they could have the luxury of playing in false 9, getting goals there, playing him deeper, assisting. Our main piece is hugging the right hand touchline. Do you know what I mean?
Like, right, man.
He can't
Because
play
De Bruyne
anywhere
doesn't
else,
have a position really.
De Bruyne don't have a
Doesn't really
position.
have a
You can utilize him, and then there you get. Then you've got. This is one of my favorite phrases, which I honestly don't think that Klopp really knows the meaning of. Horses for blood clot courses. You know, like that. Like I honestly don't think he knows the meaning of that. He always educates himself with like colloquialisms and that. Someone needs to show him that one, and he'd be like, "Oh, I get it." You know, them ones there because that's what I think City do. They're like, you know what, we're playing them. Hey, De Bruyne, go on, bag. You can be full slime. We can do different. We always just have Salah on the right. Yeah,
because Mahrez was running things at the beginning of the season. He was doing everything.
Exactly.
For them.
So Sterling will come and do a little piece as well, and then come out.
More movable pieces than ours.
So looking at it, look, City, they do have a tremendous midfielders, no doubt about it. They're overloaded by quality midfielders. I mean, their attackers are still midfielders in reality. Foden's a midfielder. Jack Grealish can arguably play midfield. Mahrez is an attacker. Gabriel Jesus apparently the striker they didn't have all season, striker. And
right wing.
That came out of nowhere, didn't it? I mean, like, we ain't got a striker. Yeah, you go.
Still came in and done the job, imagine as well.
Yeah, it's just that they're overloaded, but we can't. The thing is, though, we can't really compare ourselves because we work in a completely different way. Yep. And as I said, they bought a player in Jack Grealish, got 2 goals and 2 assists all season, cost them 100 million, and they said that's all right because next season it'll be even better. No other club in England can do that. No other club can buy £100 million footballer and go, it's all right. He was dog food, but you know, next season he's gotta be
Chelsea did, to be fair, of Havertz.
Yeah, Chelsea can.
And Lukaku.
They had Russian sugar money back then, didn't they? And that's yeah, Chelsea come back to the world of hurt. I'm telling you, 20 years are over, Chelsea fans. I'm sorry to tell you. But going forward, we need midfield. We do need an attacking midfielder. Even though I come to that assumption now, we do need a midfielder that's going to break the lines, get into the box, get onto the end of crosses, and helping the forwards out. But we ain't a club that can go and spend so much money in one window, and we do need a few in one window. Not a lot. We got a decent squad. I don't think we need like 5 signings. I think we need 2 or 3 in the right area.
I think we need
5 signings. I'll be honest with you.
5 signings.
Depends what you're going
for. 2 attackers, 2 midfielders.
And what type of signing?
Let Cal go because he's like, let Cal go.
Yeah.
I've got some more numbers for you guys.
Hey, you know when Cal does this, I'm just gonna come back. You know when Cal does the whole. You know.
Yes, there's some knowledge coming, man. There's some serious knowledge.
You better just sit back.
Trust me, sometimes the pen comes up in it.
Yeah.
And like a lecture, like uni lecture.
Guys, listen.
All right, so check it now, yeah. By everyone's imagination, Nico's going to be moving on. Nat Phillips, Ox, Keita, Mane, and Taki, right?
Yeah.
Origi?
And Mo.
Yeah, but they're free. Origi's free, so and Karius and all that. Look, they're free, so I'm not really including them.
I'm not trying to hear that brother's name ever again. You know?
He's hench now, man. Watch him.
Yeah, we got to be careful.
Karius, you're a funny one.
So Nico, I reckon we'll get around 12. Nat 15, Ox 15, Keita 30, Mane 40, Taki 17. A total of 129, roughly, yeah? Me personally, if it was down to me, I'd go and grab James Tavernier from Rangers for about 5 mil. Fabio Vieira for about 17. Basuma for 30. Usman on a 3. And Harold Kane for 100. 152.
Come on.
Net spend of 23 million. Julian Ward, sign me up, big man.
We might have to pay Basuma's bail, though, so you might have to add more money.
You're a madman, you know.
That's techie.
You got to add the ENIC tax count to Harry Kane, the ENIC tax. Because he's
that 100, that 100 could be a 130 real quick.
The thing with Harry Kane that Tottenham might have a problem with, he's only got 2 years left in his deal. And I can tell you right now, there is no way in hell Harry Kane's signing an extension on that contract. So he does.
I think it will. It's Conte, innit? The only thing is, if it weren't, it's Conte, and I feel like Conte is going to want No, not on him, but in terms of Conte, I think will tighten the wrenches on Levy's shackles. You know them ones there, because it's like, nah, big man, I need him.
If they didn't get Champions League, we could have got him.
There's 2 years left. 2 years left. It's gonna start looking a bit techie because at the end of the season,
we got Callum.
That 100 million turns into
Enix like them, man.
Like, thanks for coming, mate.
Thank you.
Come on,
I say, coming. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
For me,
We know, man.
Enix
Levy,
is
bro.
like one of them, man. He's like the Napoli guys. Like, you can't bargain with these guys. Bro, Levy will probably say, do you know what? You guys can have Kane, but loan him back for 2 seasons and still pay the 100 mil. That's
Big
what
facts,
that's
man.
what,
Hell Hydra, man.
that's what them man are on. You can't bargain with these brothers. You can't. That's why it's wishful
that Napoli
thinking.
done had Koulibaly locked up, bro.
Honestly.
It's Harry Kane. Look, he has got 2 years left. It is a weird one because he has got 2 years left and still. Conte is a short-term fix. Let's face it. Look, they just bought Eriksen. The man's 73 years of age and played in Italy. You know, and he's playing on. He's going to play, and he's playing the play. He's brought him to play wing back as well in his 3-4-3 formation.
He's a baller. He's
quite mobile still as well.
He's a good footballer, but it just shows you everything short-term about what I think Tottenham want to do going forward. Conte's going to be there 2 years. Conte, by the way, don't give a crap about Monster much and skipping midfield. They're gone. He don't care about them. You know what I mean? And Tottenham fans, I can understand they're giddy at the moment, but there's too much talk of Tottenham at the moment, challenging for the Premier League and all this nonsense next season. Just chill a bit. They might challenge Chelsea, by the way. They might challenge Chelsea, but yeah.
I can see him finishing third.
Yeah, Harry Kane with 2 years on his deal. I can see somebody maybe having a sneaky bid for him this summer because.
Do you think Harry Kane would go abroad?
No.
He just went to the Jimmy Fallon show and he looked like a lost puppy, didn't he?
Bro, what was he doing on there?
I don't know. That was our representation. I was so embarrassed. I was like, Jesus Christ.
It just seems like one of them people now that the Man City thing didn't go through. He's going to be on this, like, pretending that he cares about the Tottenham fans and he don't want to play in the Premier. You know them kind of people, bro.
Is he going to be do you think Harry Kane's going to be a Tottenham player for the rest of his life?
Oh, bro, he can't, man.
On a let's see. Yeah, but
He's going to play for Inter Miami, bro.
He's
Trust me.
good.
Beckham's going to come in for him, bro.
He's too good, bro.
Modern day Letizia.
I think you're right. I don't think he's gonna sign, and I do think that there has to be a bid at the end of this season because, like Ish said, that 100 mil just moonwalks itself into 70 mil very quickly. Do you know what I mean? And he's not Mane. I've often said with Mane's age is negated by his impeccable injury record. Do you know them ones that you can't really talk about Mane's age because he don't have an injury record? That's not the case with Harry Kane. So do you know what I'm saying?
You hit the nail on the head. You see Sadio Mane, when people you see these man don't age. You see Martins and them man, they'll play till they're 50. I'm not saying Mane is gonna play till he's 50, but what I will say is raw, bro. Like if you hit his arm, you hurt yourself. If you try to hit him, you hurt your hand.
You got them Dutch pot hands on it.
I'll give you a better one. You see when man try to bad you up and you laugh, and the guy you're trying to bad up laughs. Like when Edison was trying to bad up Mane. And he's laughing. Run. Them men are very scary. Run. This one. I can't believe he's gone, fam.
You're right, man. He rejuvenated himself. Last year he was playing like he had a fake passport, bro. But now he's, you know what I'm saying?
Headline got traded for his powers. Peak.
Yeah, trust me. On a Space Jam team, bro. Took all the powers.
Everyone in the comments, I know, guys, I always usually read your comments. And I'm trying to, but what I'm trying to do, because I've got so many people on the show, I'm just trying to get the debate keep moving and not pausing so much. But I will start reading some of your comments now, guys. I am putting them on the screen so everyone can see them. But I just want to keep the thing moving, so I'm not ignoring you people.
It gets you know what it's like, and it gets super chats and just gets too bougie for us. Like forgets only rested.
Not like that.
I said it with the camera off as well, like that.
LFC Aaron said, "Would people be happy if we signed Eriksen? He is a free transfer."
Yeah,
I'd like Eriksen.
I can hear that. I can hear that still.
Jack,
it has to be a part of some other deal, though. Like we have to get other players with him, but.
Bro, you know we'll get Eriksen and Ivan Toney together, some 10 million package thing. That's why we're going to be moving. You know it's something. You know
about Eriksen, Jack.
Yeah, me, you, and Savage spoke about that last night, didn't we, mate? Mm-hmm. If he wasn't, if we addressed the other day, he's within our squad, it'd be good. You see what he offered Ivan Toney at Brentford. and the no disrespect to the Brentford players, but the quality players, the lack of quality around them.
Big up, Saint.
Yeah, I think he could really stand out, mate.
Yeah,
But
go for it, Saint.
it won't be my main player to go
listen,
for.
So sorry, bro.
No, you're all right. No, family
big
first.
up, brother.
Family
Love,
first.
love. Hey, listen, this has been banter, man. Please, everyone in the like up the thing because this is Jamie's really giving you some real content, man. I've enjoyed it.
Before you
so
go,
much.
let everyone know where they can find you, mate.
What, this ugly mug? Aye, Saint LFC TV. Come on, I think I'm on 9, 12, 15, something like that, bro.
We know what to do.
Chump change. You know what I mean? So if you can help me out, lovely. But please, more importantly, like up this video, please. Let's do that. And if you're under a rock and you ain't sub to this channel, you get the dark side of my hand, man. Make sure you sub, man. Come on, love.
Big up, bro.
Big up, mate. Big up. Much love,
bro.
Guys, if anyone asking if I'm missing super chats, I am starring them, so I'll get round to them. But Johnson, easier said than done, but 2 games away from the quad isn't all bad. I think you need 3 additions this summer and you'll win the league. City will drop off. I'll big up to you and thank you for your super chat. I really appreciate it. But guys, yeah, if I don't think that I've missed them, I have actually starred them and then I'll get round to reading them because I want to read them all out properly, guys, and try and get to all your comments. So don't worry, fella. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So what midfielder, guys, what midfielder do you think we can buy reasonably, comes into this team that's not, you know, we've obviously got our dream transfers, you know, the Bellingham and all that stuff, but in reality, this summer, we know we're looking at an attacker. We've seen too many reports coming out of Liverpool now. We're definitely looking at an attacker because that's why we're not letting Mane leave. Apparently, there's a rumour today that Liverpool put 50 million on Mane. That's what they want from Bayern Munich. And they're not going to let him leave until Liverpool get a suitable replacement. So, midfielder and attacker, with your Liverpool hat on, who do you think we go for?
You know what? I'll go for the one that I would like us to go for. And I think if I'm being optimistic, I think we can get. I personally would like someone like Nkunku from Leipzig. I think he is someone who could. He's done the false 9 thing for them this season. He's done the wing thing. He's done even the cam thing as well. And if we're gonna let Mane go, what I think a lot of us forget is that he's played all 3 positions across the front 3, done them all very well. Yeah. Came in on the right, moved to the left, moved down the middle. Bobby and Mo can't do that. As good as they are, I'm not trying to see Bobby on the wing ever. No. We've seen Salah up front before when we had Shaqiri 18-19 when we done the 4-2-3-1. Didn't really work. Salah on the left. Oh my god, I'm not trying to see him cut onto his right foot. Like Mane, as much as he's been frustrating at times, have to give him props for his versatility. So we're going to need to go out there and get someone like that. And Nkunku for me fits that. I think we could get him for like a 60-70 million, not break the bank. And that's
what I think as well. 65.
That's not going to be cheap. I think we can get him. I think we can get him for that kind of money. Got a decent relationship with Leipzig as well, and he's got that sort of. He's a Klopp signing. For me, he's a Klopp signing. I can see him fitting in, and if we let Mane go, I think he's the kind of replacement I want to go for. Yeah. Then it goes to the one where it's like, all right, so we're going to lose like the likes of Minamino and Origi as well. So we're going to probably sign someone who's going to be confident.
You think Minamino's leaving? So I don't think he is.
I don't think so. I think all the fans will put it on him more than anything.
I think if you get a good offer, if we get like a 20 million offer, I think we'll cash in on him.
Stock could be so high this season, though, if he was.
Yeah.
Given the goals,
top goal scorer in FA Cup and League Cup. Like
that's 11 starts, 10 shots. 10 on target.
That's clinical. Like we need to obviously we all banter him. We all banter him sometimes because it's like sometimes when he comes on, he can not really do much. But in the young like early rounds of the cups, you need players like that. You can't play flipping Salah against Shrewsbury in the third round of the cup. Like as much as he wants to play, you don't need to see that. So we need players like that in the squad. Which brings me on to like the other player I think we might go for in like an attacking sense. I can see us going for Ivan Toney. You know, I can see us going for him. Liverpool fan, we'd be able to get him cheap. He's obviously not happy at Brentford. Like he's anyone can see that he's not really happy there. He's gettable and he knows where the back of the net is, and he'll be happy to sit on the bench because he's coming as like a fan almost. So I can see us going for someone like him. To be honest, if Nkunku and Tony are incomings,
That's a good
I'm
window,
not over the. I'm not over the moon,
not
but
terrible.
the Nkunku one kind of drags the Tony one up a little bit. If you see what I'm saying, because it's just like, if all right, you're coming to do what Divock done, and now if you tally up Divock's minutes from this season, as much as you'll love him and he's been clutch, it's not been much, is it? It's really not been much at all. So I can see that.
I'm sorry, this cracked me up.
No.
Oh, he's a big Liverpool fan as well.
Massive, bro. Hey, he might bag a goal.
He come and play for free. He's a Liverpool fan. He come and play for free.
Hey, just give his family a season ticket, and he'll play, man. He'll 100% he'll play. But yeah, I can see us doing something. We'll do like one big signing and then one sort of like just to kind of plug the gap. But I wouldn't mind them too if I'm being honest.
No, I agree. Monts, because I know you got to go in a bit, my
man. I mean, personally, I wanted to get Daniel Sturridge, get him like a preseason, see how he'd feel playing Divock. No, I'm taking a piss. No, I'm not even.
Bro, he can still kick ball, you know.
He's not like Sturridge can definitely still kick ball, but if I give the prop too much, they'll shoot me in it. Let me not be as deluded as that. But I think for me, I've always been a massive fan of Nico Barella. And
but there you go.
Proper baller. He's a proper baller. His fitness isn't too bad either, actually. So I think he suits us. I wouldn't have minded Bruno Guimaraes at Newcastle. I think he would have been a great addition to the Liverpool team. I know he wasn't really on anyone's radar, but I think Guimaraes would have been, and the thing is, I don't know how long he's signed to Newcastle for, but I can see us going and getting someone like him maybe in a few seasons' time. He's still quite young as well. In terms of, I think we're definitely going to get a striker. I think the best attacking football I've ever seen Liverpool play is 2017-18 when we had Coutinho in the front three. So it was almost a front four kind of thing we had going on. Mm-hmm. And I think if we can get like a centre mid who can cut in and score the way Coutinho used to do it, but at the same time, he was able to bring the attributes of as a robust 8, I think that could work. I think it could honestly work. In terms of personnel, Barella comes to mind. Unrealistic because he's at where he's at. Striker wise, I'd love to bring in Kane. Unrealistic. I think Lewandowski is actually doable. I generally think that signing is doable. He said he's not going to play for Bayern again. But my man. Literally, if Barcelona are tempting him, I reckon we can tempt him. We got a bigger pool than them at the moment. Do you know what I'm saying? I think there's.
What's his wages then, though?
Barcelona can't afford it.
Give him what he wants.
Barcelona can't afford it, can they?
So, and I think people need to forget. I think Fabio Carvalho is going to play a bigger part than we think next season. That's why I think it will probably be like it said, one big one kind of one to just sort of one or the other two might be just to fill in gaps. That's what it might seem like to me. And if we are gonna offer Milner the extension, then I'll buy his walking stick for him, I guess. And I don't know. So, that's.
Hey, Millie's been alright, you know. Millie's been alright.
Back
end of the season,
Millie's done his
he's
best
been leveled,
Thiago impression his last 2 games, but I don't know how often I'm trying to see that. So that's. I think Nkunku. If I can see Nkunku come in, I'd love to see that. If I can see maybe Osman Dembele to fill the gap on a free, not to play loads of games, but as a squad player almost.
Injuries,
and one that people haven't mentioned, Jared Bowen, to give Salah maybe a rocket.
Oh no, we're all Bowen. No, don't worry about that.
I've been Bowen for you.
If we buy Jared Bowen, we'd have to present him with the theme music to Bullseye. I'm telling you right now, if anyone knows, because obviously the old was called Bowen, and you bring him out to the theme music of a Bullseye, and he comes through the dartboard like that, rips right through.
How long's he got his contract though?
I don't know.
I'm not trying to pay 40, 50 M's.
It's knows me and Bowen share the same last name. I'm not saying we're related. But we share the same last name. So I believe in miracles. So
Bowen's that's my guy, man.
You know what I'm saying? But that's
Bowen's with Thingy in it, with Danny Dye's daughter in it.
Yeah.
Just had a baby with
Danny Dye's daughter.
Danny Dye's massive West Ham fan, but we ain't gonna let him go nowhere.
And Ish, you see it. He's with Danny Dye's daughter. I'm also an actor. Listen, guys.
You're gonna see Monts in EastEnders and that, yeah.
I'm gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? But Jamie, honestly, thank you for having me on today.
No, you're welcome. Anytime, mate. Anytime.
Massive stream, man. I really enjoyed myself. Everyone, make sure you subscribe.
Let everyone know where they can find you before you go, mate.
Oh yeah, you can see. Oh, got the Big Six Pants. My name's
Yeah, there you go. Big Six.
yeah, Big Six Pants there. We've just got monetization as well. Thanks.
Hey.
Come on.
Big up.
Hey, come on.
You know what I'm saying? So if you want to see toxicness, crazy arguments, and as well as, you know, just a little bit of agenda and stuff, just head over here and see some arguments. Plenty of stuff gonna go on over the summer, so can't wait to show you that. But make sure you subscribe to these brilliant people on the panel as well.
Big up, man.
Big up, man.
Take care.
Big up. Well, see you soon, my man. Yeah, it's a great guy. Great guy. Just got a few questions here in the chat. We get them. Where, if I can find them again. Where was it? Here we go. So you got Lucas.
I was about to say him as well, and you're going to come to me there.
He's
Is he the bloke who's very good friends with
Newcastle, Guimaraes.
Yeah. Gang people says Anthony on the right for rotation.
Love Anthony, man, but they're gonna charge us for the roof, man.
Yeah, how much? What's his valuation at Ajax? 80?
They were saying, I think they were saying like 65, but I actually like to come with those numbers to begin with. But you can.
It never works out for them, does it?
Yeah, you can normally get them done. I know they sold Delit for big money, but
yeah,
everyone since that sort of that 18-19 team of like him, De Jong, they've kind of been lowering their price a little bit.
Yeah,
so
Anthony's a baller still. I think Manu going in for him, but he plays on the same side as Sancho, so I don't know how that's gonna work.
Yeah.
What happened to Delit? This man was going to be the centre back, and he went to Juventus, and he couldn't get in their team.
Such a bad move, man.
It was. He shouldn't have gone. Would anyone take Saka from Arsenal? Right. With the Arsenal boys, I've said this for a while. I prefer Saka to Martinelli. I really do. I prefer Saka. I just think they're being uncoached at Arsenal. It's as simple as that. You know, Arteta's your manager. It's like your stepdad being in charge of your football team. You know what I mean? He's got all the love for you and he wants you to do well, but you're just not going to get that coaching, are you? And that's what Arteta reminds me of. Martinelli, I'm a bit not on Martinelli. I think he's...
I think they're both overrated. I think they're both a little bit overrated.
It
doesn't mean they're shit. It doesn't mean they're shit.
Oh, no, overrated don't mean crap. No, exactly.
Because it's the only ones they've got.
Yeah.
Like, and I've said this before and people think I'm like taking the piss, but if we signed Saka, he would be like Milner 2.0 in the sense that like, we'd use him in bare positions, but he would never be, I don't think, he would never be like the guy for us. Yeah, he would never be the guy who's like first in the team. But I like him. I'll take him as like a utility man. But
does it improve us as a team? This is the problem. We just need, it's hard to improve Liverpool, and I admit it is hard to improve Liverpool, but we are at a place now as a club and as a squad where I think we need these big signings coming in now.
Yeah.
To get us over the door. That's why I've been on this Lewandowski train. I'm not going to stop. Barcelona can't afford him. Mane wants to go to Bayern Munich. I said this yesterday. Mane wants to go to Bayern Munich. Lewandowski wants to leave Bayern Munich. By the way, what Lewandowski said in the press conference was a little disrespectful.
I've been mugging him off, man.
If Mane wants to, because Mane's he's pissed off because Bayern Munich were trying to get Haaland to replace him, but then they couldn't afford him, and now they're trying to beg Lewandowski to stay. But Lewandowski, that's that. I want to leave. Lewandowski loves, and I'll say this, loves Jurgen Klopp. It works.
I was watching the Real Madrid highlights when he absolutely rinsed him a couple of years ago in the semis.
Even if he's 33, if he's 34 beginning of the season, that's a short-term gap, even for a year.
Benzema's older than him.
Yeah, even while we're looking for the longer-term replacement. So we want to look for a year for the longer-term replacement.
Mbappe in 2 years' time.
There you go. He'll have to come down. He'll have to come down from 1.5 million a week to 200.
Mbappe would transfer himself for half a season.
He's already made enough. He's already made enough to feed the next 8 generations of his family. Like, he can just come and play for us for nothing. Yeah, then he's still good for the rest of his life. Like he's all right, man. He's all right.
Exactly. Talk about this because we have to talk about him. Mane's leaving. So I'll put a question mark there because I don't know if he's going to leave now. I have no idea. Obviously, news broke 48 hours and 24 hours before the Champions League final, which I don't think is on at all, especially by Bayern Munich. But they got a history of doing this. They did it at Klopp at Dortmund, if I remember rightly, when they told him, came out 24 hours before the game that Lewandowski and Götze are off to Bayern Munich the following summer. So they got a history of doing it. Mane of his comments, I'll tell you after Saturday. Now Tuesday, we've still not heard nothing. It's gone a little bit quiet today, I have to say. But if do you think he's leaving? Basically, do you think he's going to go, or do you think he's going to stay?
I think he will go. If I'm being honest, Klopp's quite big on not keeping players that don't want to stay.
Yeah.
We saw with Coutinho. Not many other clubs would sell their best player in the middle of the season, whether it's 140 million, 150 million. Like we saw PSG turn down 200 M's for Mbappe in Jan when he had 6 months left in his contract. Like it's unheard of, pretty much. So Klopp's quite big on that, and I think Mane was expecting us to win it on Saturday. He was expecting us to win. He's got a trophy, and he says, "Look, I'm leaving. I've won it all. Yeah. I've won this one twice. I love you all. See you later." Didn't quite go to plan. You all saw his face on the bus. He looked like he was already checked out.
Yeah.
So I think he will go. What I will say is, I think, and I'm going to say these two things, but I want you to just all know first of all that they coexist. There's not one or the other. I'm going to miss him, and he's been a legend for a club. And no one can take away the contribution that he's made. I think Jack said earlier, like the clutch goals he scored. It's been unreal, and we're going to need to be mindful of that when we try and replace him, because we've all got memories of Mane just coming up clutch. Even the final we lost in Kiev, he was balling out.
He was the only one trying.
He was the only one balling out, bro. He was the only one balling out. Got the goal as well. Kind of made it out of didn't make it out of nothing, but he was there to pounce on. I think Lovren knocked it down. So we're going to need to actually find someone who's as clutch as him or can do something like that. But I'm not that sad he's leaving, in the sense of, we are at a point now where we do need to refresh that front three. It looks like we've made the decision already that Salah's the one that we want to go like bolster or keep. We've been offering him deals or been in contract since the beginning of the season. The narrative the whole time has been Mane will wait to the end of the season. So for him, he's already earning half of what this guy's earning. I can see why he wants to leave. He's done his thing here. He's conquered everything. He's won everything, and he's been a part of it as well. So I can see why he wants to leave. And if we're gonna need to refresh. If he's the one that wants to go, his contract is running out at the end of the next season. It just makes sense. Like the two things are just kind of married up in that way. So it is what it is, man. But you can't just cling on to these things forever. We can't play the same front three for the next 4 or 5 years. So if he's the first one to leave, it hurts. But it is what it is, man.
Yeah. So Liverpool are said if Mane wants to go, it's 50 million. So Bayern Munich thought they were going to get a similar deal that they let Thiago go to Liverpool. Yeah. Liverpool like, no, that was a midfielder. This is an attacker who scores goals. It's a completely different world. And Jack, Mane to Bayern Munich, do you see it happening? If not Bayern Munich, does there someone else coming for him at the 11th hour?
I think we spoke about it this week on your channel, mate. PSG will be all over Mane if he's available. That's one thing. They'll take anyone at this rate to be a relevant club in Europe, especially when you're looking in rounds of clutch goals, as we've already said tonight. It's Mane, Salah, Messi, Ronaldo. I think they're in like the top 5 since the last 5, 6, 10 seasons in Champions League. It's madness. I think Mane's got 13, 14 plus knockout goals in the last couple of years, so you've got to replace them. It's another debate for another night. Potentially, if you move Salah through the middle and then get another wide player, it's an option. I don't see us doing that, but because I think this season we've seen teams, as we've already said, double up on him. And Salah, when he does get his goal coming from deep, Suarez used to do it so much. He'd nutmeg it at 5 players, and it's mad. Salah's got that in his locker, and whether you're coming from the left or right. But for me, PSG probably would go in for Mane if he was available. So that's what Bayern have got to take in mind. It's not like we're selling a Divock, respect to him, but Mane will get into every single team in European football, even potentially Manchester City's 100%. So, yes, we got Thiago Alcantara for cheap. It was very considering the player in which we bought, but this is Sadio Mane we're talking about. It's the best player in the world, as we all like to say anyway. But yeah, I'd say don't let Bayern take us to the shops. even if he did stay for the year and go to Champions League football again, that more or less, or even top forward and helps us win a couple more trophies. For me, I don't know, you lads feel that would be worth the money in itself in which we would have received this summer.
100%.
If it's 20 or 30, I'd rather just keep him.
Yeah, just keep him.
That's
that's good news. Breaking the French politician apologises.
Oh, it's too late, man. He's already said what he said.
I'm not going to really talk about it because I think everyone's seen it. Everyone knows the truth. The only one thing I will say, if there's put rivalry to side, Man United fans, Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans, just think of that human beings that got hurt in that. You know, it's not a rivalry thing. You want to live, just stop be grown-ups. Now we live in a world of social media where you can type whatever you say behind a screen and not be found. But I tell you what, people's kids got hurt. Pregnant women were getting hurt. There were a group of Liverpool fans that actually made a circle around one pregnant woman. Did you hear about this? And they took all the spray and protected her because she's bloody pregnant. You know, and you know, I don't understand rival fans when it comes to this sort of thing. That human beings, guys, just grow up. If you can't grow up, don't write anything. It's as simple as that. Go on, Jack. What are you saying?
Yeah, no, sorry, lad. We need to keep hold of him for Mane. If Bayern don't want to pay sounds, happy days. He can go. And I think Mane and his agents would be a lot more happy if he went on a free next summer.
Certain Egyptian.
Yeah, because he'd get literally double because obviously a signing on fee. You know what the signing on fee for players that are free agents. So yeah, and if he did stay, Mane's the ultimate professional, as we've already discussed tonight. Boys on me, he's not done it down tools like certain players we've had in the past. Not saying any names, but we all know. But yeah, I think he will go to Bayern, mate. But I think there will be a couple more clubs. I think Liverpool know there's more clubs coming in for them. That's why they're playing hardball, and quite rightly, because he's one of the world's best. He's up for Ballon d'Or next season. I know he needed to win potentially the Champions League on Saturday, but he'll be up there, mate.
Yeah, I mean, like, with Mane, I love the fella, and I wish him well wherever he goes. But at the end of the day, football is a cycle and moves on. Would I like Salah and Mane to stay till they retire, a bit like rivalry and that did at Bayern Munich? Robin did at Bayern Munich, maybe. But I think the English league is so much different to the German league. The Bayern Munich coach of their league every year. They can have 50-year-old fingers. Do you know what I mean? It's not a massive problem. But we got it was always going to be the case when Salah, Bobby, and Mane never played for Liverpool Football Club again. But what we've got to do is just get the recruitment right. If we get the recruitment right, we won't be looking back at this like it's a sad time. If you know what I mean? It's all about getting the recruitment right.
That's why I'm kind of alright with it, because 8.5 times out of 10 we've got the recruitment put on. So it's not one where like we're a club who is gonna just piss money out the wall, not use the money rightly, and go and sign a flipping dud. Like time and time again, they've shown us that they can replace at the right time, know when to let players go, and spend the money wisely as well. So I'm kind of like, I'm not even trying to even talk about transfers too much, because I just know. Look at Jota. We woke up one morning, it was just done. And
I didn't even know we were in for him.
Bro, we were all going for Vernon. I was still fuming about Vernon going to Chelsea, and then I was like, you look around the other way, like I've just seen Jota posing the shirt.
Yeah, because we signed Thiago, didn't it? And like a few hours later, it came up breaking news. Liverpool are almost finished sealing Jota deal. It's like Fabinho. We lost the Champions League 2 days later. We signed the contract. We do keep our business quiet, and I do like that.
Our fan base hasn't recovered from Thomas Lemar, have they? So that man, oh Christ, man, he was the YouTube algorithm. Like when you put Lewis Diaz in, you tag him on the YouTube video.
Yeah.
It's not for care as well. It's not for care, ain't it? And,
it's mad, but the players that we like choose not to get have all gone on to just flop completely. So
has anyone ever heard from Alex Tejera again, or whatever his name was?
Is he playing in Russia or still?
I think he went to China or something.
Was it China? Yeah.
Does anyone remember what happened to him? Because we were apparently after him. I remember Liverpool fans going nuts about him. I never even flaming heard of him. And I watch a lot of football, and I never even heard of him. And everyone's like, "Oh, FSG, better stand again. He's gone. He's gone. Where is he now?
He's gone. He's gone. Well, you just don't know where.
He just vaporized. But no, it's. I do trust system, but Gangan Deep says here, would you guys like to see Klopp change things to a 4-2-3-1 for goal scoring number 9, a creative winger, especially for low blocks? By the sounds of it, it's sort of what he wants to do.
I think we've seen that in the final, didn't we, Jay?
Yeah. And the talk coming out, and the talk coming out is that he wants a proper forward. He don't, because all our attackers are wide area attackers. Jota's a wide area attacker. We shoehorn everyone into a position. I think we don't need to do that anymore. We've got the wide area attackers, and we just need that focused man through the middle. And that is maybe someone we're looking at. And if you think about Carvalho coming in as well, you know, everyone watched him when he was at Fulham. You know, this is an extremely talented young boy, and he is that creative. He's a bit like a young Coutinho. He's that kind of footballer, and I think he will actually play quite a bit of football next season. Because the fact that we're not letting him go back out on loan again, tells me a lot that he's going to play a bit of football next season. So for me, I see him as Bobby's replacement in the team. I
can see that.
I see him as Bobby's replacement. Diaz was already Mane's replacement on the left-hand side. This is why I think Liverpool knew Mane was leaving for quite a while.
Apparently, he's tried to leave a couple of times. Apparently, it's not the third time he's asked to leave. Because
they said Diaz was the summer transfer, and he was meant to come in the summer. It's just because Spurs started talking and picking up steam that they might go from January. We just went for him in January, so we didn't lose him. The fact we did that, because we don't usually do that, we went for him so we didn't lose him, tells me he was always the replacement for Sadio Mane. And if you look at it as well, when Diaz has come into the team, what's happened to Mane? He's going to the number 9 role. Yeah. So I think Diaz was the replacement. Carvalho's coming in. But because Origi's leaving and Mane's leaving, and we don't know what's happening with Taki, we do need another forward. And then you've got Mo Salah's issue. And there's some reports online today that apparently Mo's close to signing a new contract. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Apparently, the negotiations going better.
I'm zoned out.
I have no idea.
Until I see it done, I can't.
I only listened to his interview with Rio Ferdinand 72 hours ago when he said, "No, the deal's not clear, and I'm basically going to leave for free at the end of the summer, at the end of the season." What do you guys think on that, Mo?
He's talking too much, man. I love the guy, but part of me is just thinking you need to do and not say so much. As good as you are, it'd be better if you just kind of kept things done under wraps. Look how the Madrid players are talking now. Now they've won. That's when they're talking. Didn't hear too much from them before the game. As soon as we beat Villarreal, man saying I want Real Madrid. Don't say that. Don't say anything. I know they asked you. Just say you don't. You just want to wait and see. You're excited to whoever comes in the final. Then before that, he's saying more stuff as well. How he wants revenge. Just stop. And the contract thing as well. Like, I don't hear it many other players. Even Mbappe, this thing's been going on with him for like as long as the Salah contract has been going on as well. Only now we're hearing that he's confirmed that he was talking to us, talking to other teams as well. We didn't hear him say too much before. Salah's doing too much, and whether we want to say it's seeping into his form on the pitch or not, you can put two and two together, and you can make 4 in that situation. It can stick. So I just think I'm tired of hearing from him now. Either you're going to sign. And just one more thing as well. I didn't like him saying the other day that he's definitely staying next season. No. That's not for you to say. You're under contract. No. That's not for you. That's not for you to say. Basically, what you're saying is, big clubs come and get me in 2023. I'm about.
Yeah,
you didn't commit the future. You didn't commit the future. You didn't say you're staying. You said you're staying until next season. Who are you to say when you're staying? So I'm not really with that from him.
No,
and the form's not really equating to what I'm seeing as well. If he's still on the form he was on beginning of the season, and talking. Cool, you can talk your shit because I'll be saying FSG, give him a blank contract, tell him to sign whatever. But now it's even like, if we give him 400 grand a week, I'm looking at it thinking, you just let Mane go. Should we not have just split it down the middle and said you two both take 300 instead of offer Mane 200? Like, it's looking a bit. It's starting to look a bit weird from where I'm sitting. Like,
I've said it for a while. When I look at Salah and Mane in their Liverpool careers, they contribute.
Exactly it's the same. Yeah,
there's no difference. And with Mane, if I was Sadio Mane, I'd probably be a bit butthurt as well because all the talks about Mo, constantly about Mo, and then Mo picking himself up all the time and stuff like that. And you're sitting there,
you're not delivering either. It's just like,
you're like, I was there a year before. I had to move positions as well so Mo can play on the right, and then, but I'm still contributing. You know, everything we've won together, we've done together as a group. Is there that much difference? And then you look at Virgil. is Mo worth 100 times more than what Virgil van Dijk and Alisson are on as a contract? I don't think they are. So I love Mo Salah, I really do. I don't want him going nowhere. This is not me saying I want him to leave, but the way he was speaking, if you're around Madrid or PSG, there's no way you're buying him in the summer. You're waiting until January. You're just going to go, well, he's going to stay there. So we just wait till January, and we can talk to him in January to sign a pre-contract agreement. And then there's nothing the club can do about it, because the club can't put him up for sale now and go, right, we'll go just let you go in the summer. You reckon Jurgen Klopp was really happy with what he was saying, and the board were happy with what he was saying?
His agent as well, man. Yeah. I think he's got the same agent as Ian Rush or something. Yeah. And your club, we've all seen these. Like, he's been playing games on social media and everything. And even if you were his client or something, you just keep your cob shut, wouldn't you? Like, but it's the modern day agents. I think all those football fans, we understand it's part of the game and part of parcel football. It's become very much money orientated, especially in the last 20, 30 years, even more. But it's like, for me, as you said there, boys, if I was Mane, I'd feel a bit more underappreciated by Liverpool, which is mad. Yeah. Obviously, us fans, we love them. But if you're looking at the hoo-ha between Salah and they've took their eye off the ball in reality over the last 2 to 3 years. Both of these contracts should have been done 2-3 years down the line prior.
Exactly.
It shouldn't have been left up to the position for myself.
No, I agree. Look, I'm not. I get called an FSG marker sometimes, stuff like that, because I don't always go against them. I'm not. Do I think FSG have done things wrong for our football club? Of course they have. Has Roman Abramovich done more wrong in society than FSG? Yeah, of course he has. I mean, that's why he's had to sell Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea fans still big him up and sing him over anything. But we have to work within a structure. We haven't got the money of Manchester City. We have to work in a certain way. And look, is our recruitment one of the best around? Certainly is. Look, we've got Diaz in. Diaz is on 90 grand a week. We've managed to get this exceptional footballer into our club, stick him on 90 grand a week. Man United went and got Jadon Sancho and put him straight on 350 grand a week. This is the problem with football. So everyone's like, so-and-so's on that money. I should be on that money. But that shouldn't be how it works, because it's not the club's fault. It's not Liverpool's fault that Man United are idiots. Do you know what I mean? It's not their fault that Luke Shaw and Phil Jones and people like that are still playing at their football club because they're on so much money they can't get rid of them. Arsenal give him a Aubameyang 450 grand a week and Ozil 450 grand a week. They gave Eddie and Ketia 100 grand a week.
We've been there, Jay, as well, though.
You've got to be clever. You've got to be clever.
Hey, Aquilani, please, man. I don't want to hear the guy's name. I was so gassed in this guy.
Was Mane underpaid? Yeah, of course he was. Is Mane going actually that much more going to Bayern Munich? I don't think so. I don't see Bayern Munich. I think Lewandowski is the biggest wage earner in Bayern. I don't
probably get the same wage, to be fair.
I don't think he's going to hit 200 grand a week being at Bayern. I really don't.
I'll get 200, I reckon.
I reckon I get 200.
Yeah,
that's it, max.
But that's what Liverpool could probably offer him. But look, if someone wants to leave the football club and they've decided they've had their time, and like me and the boys said yesterday, we were saying that Mane might also look at it like this: he's had enough. Do you know how hard it is to compete against Man City every single week in the English Premier League? The English Premier League is the hardest league to compete in. If you don't turn up 100% against Burnley or Norwich, you sometimes don't win them games. Where in Germany, I can guarantee you right now, Bayern Munich will win their German league next season.
He'll win three league titles without just by turning
it's
up.
Done.
So,
it's easy time. So maybe he's just thinking, do you know what? I also get the Christmas time off. It's an easier league. I'll be rested. Yeah. I'm in my 30s now. Why not?
A bit better as well.
So I'm like,
especially Scouse chippies as well.
But no one can begrudge him leaving. It's for me. I wish him all the best. He's always welcome back. And I can understand after 6 years, he just wants to go in it. He wants to go and double his 100 grand a week. Like, I wish him well, man. I wish him well.
The only is as well, I don't think all footballers don't think the way us fans do about other leagues, you know. Don't get me wrong, leagues like China and stuff like that, of course they know the difference in the drop off from Russia and things like that. But when it comes to like Germany and that, they don't think it's as crap as we think it is. And so to them, it's still a challenge in life in general. You get me? There's the lifestyle to go with it, as well as, you know what I mean, the whole culture of Germany, and then getting into the team and stuff and playing against different type of opposition and stuff like that. So for him, considering how his season was last season, and then when he had interviews and he was saying that he kind of didn't know what was wrong with him, and he had been tested and all these things, he's gone and picked himself back up, had a great season, tried his hardest, battled for all 4 competitions. At this point, it's like, what else have I got to do? You know what I mean? Of course, I think Ish is right. He thought that the Champions League, he was going to win it, which of course he would, because he's going to be confident. But then it's like, do I go again? I do have a Champions League with Liverpool already. I have every trophy with them. They're in a better place than I would have left them a year ago or a year before. And Diaz was definitely the replacement for Mane. Obviously, we've had the best Mane we've had this season has been down the middle. It wasn't that great at the beginning of the season when Salah was on fire, but
no,
it's like, it's kind of like what I said to you guys yesterday. Sometimes I think circumstances change in the team due to either injuries or somebody new getting signed or somebody overperforming than what they thought. And then it changes how the team thinks, because when Diaz came in, pretty much it was like Mane would come off and Diaz would come on. So Jota was firing goals then, and he was playing down the centre. It was only when Jota had like a few bad games and Mane played and started scoring, there it's like, all right, then, well, we'll just play Mane here. We weren't planning to. But the left side has been replaced. So when we talk about the season coming with transfers, I think if we bear that in mind, that the left side has been replaced already. The fact that Carvalho can play across the three, but he normally plays on the left for Fulham, coming inside and stuff like that. He's quite creative as well. So that side's covered. There's Jota's going to play through the middle. And obviously Bobby, I want to keep Bobby to this contract ends now, but I'm quite aware that he's got limitations now. You know what I mean? There's things that he won't be able to improve on anymore because it's been too long now. Certain passes don't have like the right amount of power and stuff anymore. There's certain things. And then obviously it's the right side. What we do need somebody over there. Salah's going to stay, and I think he's going to run his contract down. But we need somebody over there anyway. And I think that's what we need to do. But yeah, Mane should just go and enjoy the rest of his football career, man, whatever he wants to do.
I think it's a case study, Jay, and lads and chat as well.
Yeah.
He wants to get out with a shot. Not because, as we said, Salah and Mane have been up there. But,
no, but he is in the shadow a bit, though.
Yeah,
I agree with what you're saying. He is in the shadow a bit.
Yeah, like obviously when you look at the best African player, it's either been Mane or Salah, and obviously Salah getting the awards. I think Mane, would you say, similar with Neymar, with Messi at Barca all those years ago?
No, Messi followed him.
Yeah, and then he's come back, and then Neymar's going this season or next year again. So, I think it's something similar like that. But as we say, boys, we never know what's ever happened. And behind closed doors, could be his family might like to move, and as you said, experience different cultures. And it's going to be
the right time in his career. I do believe it's the right time in his career. I think when Neymar done it a little bit younger. And if you've seen that Neymar documentary, regretted it straight away, because that whole documentary, there's a whole episode dedicated to him wanting to go back to Barcelona, and he made it known.
That documentary basically told me how much he hates Paris.
Well, you can see how much his dad's got involved in his life and stuff as well. So when we're thinking about agents and stuff like that, and his is like his dad, and he's got all this management stuff, and realize like the pressure coming in and that. Because at one point he was telling his dad to shut up and that, bro, and his dad weren't having it. He's like, listen, you got an advert to do.
Fucking mad, bro.
I'm just going, before we get to the last topic with Naby Keita, it shouldn't take long. But when I just thought of something, and I've been thinking it for actually a while. I think I mentioned it this morning in my afternoon video. But when I look at Mane and Salah, do you think they've not played as well without Bobby Firmino in the team? I'm looking at their whole careers together, as a three. Would you say Mane and Salah have not quite looked as good as they once were because Bobby Firmino's no longer the number 9 through the middle?
Yeah. Because if you look at what's the replacement, Jota down the middle, and I like Jota as well. but he's limited in certain areas. The build up between the goals is not great sometimes.
Yeah,
he's also trying to do his own thing. He's trying to pave his own way, and for him, the best way he can stay in the team is by bagging goals. But if I'm being honest, he's not going to be by dropping in and facilitating others. So he's trying to do his thing. Mane and Salah have always tried to do their thing. That's not even a detriment to them. They've done well by doing that. Exactly. Yeah. Now we've got 3 men trying to do their own thing. It does look a bit not quite like joined up at times. So
yeah, and you know what I noticed with Bobby as well, because I think me and Sarah said just when with Salah used to play give and goes inside the box all the time.
Yeah, he never gets him behind
give and goes. Now he just gets the byline, cuts inside, and looks like Weldy, right? With Bobby in the team, I've seen it actually when Bobby came on to sub. I can't remember what game it was. Salah came in for the right, came into the walls of the box, actually passed it to Bobby, and Bobby looked for the 1-2, and Salah already made the run into the box. That's Salah of old. I do think so. I'm thinking about it when we're looking for a number 9. When we're looking for a number 9 in the middle, maybe they're thinking about someone Bobby-esque more than what we're thinking about as a clinical finisher.
And Nkunku's very
that's I agree, man. I think that guy
Mods,
listen,
40-year-old Virgil.
There's different leagues and stuff in it, so everyone's gonna have their opinion on the league he's playing in again. But this guy's the truth, man. Like there's no everything like even if you halved what he's done this season in the Prem, he's still killing it. He's a proper guy, man, and he can play false nines. He can play as a number 9, play across the. He's a club type player. Like if there is one, that's the guy who's a club type player, and that's like an FSG big signing, because FSG's big signings ain't massive signings, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what
he's the right age as well.
Yeah,
perfect age, man.
I think that's the one. I think it's a Bobby-esque signing we're going to get. I know a lot of people are after the clinical 9, like pipe dream and Lewandowski.
I think we get clinical 9 to play as a number 9 when we have to change the way we play a little bit, because that's why what Isha said about Jota's build-up play. If Jota played with wingers who were playing as wingers, he'd score more goals.
Yeah.
If he played
giving him the room.
If he played with a number 10 as well, because we're asking Jota to drop in and play with his back to goal. That's not really him.
And he
had a number 10. Just use the stay in the box.
I prefer Jota on the left. I really do. I know a lot of people don't. But when
I was saying then Nkunku and Maddison, then what?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm here for it. I even take Eriksen. I take Eriksen and Nkunku.
Eriksen.
I mean, Eriksen, yeah. Do you know the Eriksen, a free transfer? Eriksen's a free transfer. It just makes sense. The wages wouldn't be ridiculous either. And I'm thinking of it now. With Eriksen, you can actually rest Thiago.
Yeah.
Because they're like for like. Also with Eriksen, you've got a set piece taker. Which I am so. If I go through next season watching Trent or Robbo take right and left corners and they'll shoot me in the brains out.
No, I will say though, Robbo did improve, because Robbo was like a 2 out of 10. He got to like a 5/6. I'm gonna have to give him his dues on that. But yeah, bro, the corners, that Champions League final, I know we've talked about it already, but some of the corners I was watching in that game, bro, I was just like, we could have had Peter Crouch, LeBron James, anyone in there. No one's getting ahead.
I don't understand why Thiago don't take corners. Thiago do it for Bayern.
You watch him in warm-ups, don't you? Like typical Spaniard, pinging it with his outside of 4 for like 8 yards.
I don't get why he don't take corners. And I'm sick of seeing Jordan Henderson on the end of the box like he's going to get a 20-yard screamer. I don't want to see it. Jordan, you take
that screamer comes once every 30 games, man. When he does, it's a beautiful thing. But
so Hendo, you take the corner, because Hendo's actually quite a decent crosser of the ball.
Yeah, he can cross the ball, especially when he doesn't have to rush.
Yeah, exactly.
When it's not the first time crosses, Lord.
Oh, that little swing he does, that little side foot swing thing he does.
Teams like
1 in 100
love that cross, bro.
1 in 100 works.
Tarkowski and them, man. When they see Hendo on the ball, they love it, man.
They just
baby food, bro.
And then do it.
Yeah.
But let's get this out. Let's do this. Let's get the Naby Keita. Hang on, where is it? I've got a picture of Naby Keita here somewhere.
Don't get me started, man.
Oh no, sorry, wrong picture.
Stop it, man.
Wrong picture.
Aslan.
I just got that was Lino. That was Lino from Thundercats.
Naby lad.
Naby lad, there he is. Look at him. Bulked up this season as well. Look at the black chest. But no. Naby the PSG. Apparently, this rumour, I saw it this afternoon, and then it's like there's thousands of things on it on Twitter, and everyone's retweeting it. And like, where has this rumour started? Firstly, he's in the last year of his contract. 50 mil. I know PSG got money and they don't give a shit, but 50 mil for Naby Keita. That if that's true, he's off. Let's face it.
Bro, I will pack his bags. I will wake him up in the morning. I will drive him to the airport. I will make sure he gets on this plane. I will then get the Eurostar, meet him on the other end, take him to PSG, make sure I've got his passport, shake his hand, drop him off, sign a contract for him. For 50 million, he has to go, bro. If there's any truth in that, I'll even take 40. I'll take 35. He needs to go, man. He needs to go. That's not even a disrespect either. Like, I like Naby, but again, it's like a relationship. We've been clinging on to this guy for 5 years. It's not really going anywhere. It's time to go, man. It is time to go. I like the guy, but we're not going to see what we thought we were going to see. Free up the number 8, bring back Jude Bellingham to England. Done.
See, that's the thing as well. We've got to remember about homegrown. You have to have a maximum of homegrown players in your team as well. So I was thinking about transfers today. Depending who we get, that's why Reece Williams stays in the club because
and Milner
because it's part of the homegrown. It's part of the homegrown. So I think Nat Phillips will go in the summer because I think there's a little bit of rain.
Legend.
I think Ox will definitely go in the summer. I think looks like Mane's going. Origi's gone already. Taki, I don't know. Depends if we get a decent enough offer. If we don't, he'll stay. Milner's a weird one. He's gone very quiet about this year extension. If he was leaving, he would have got some kind of send off. I'm sure of it.
Milner's not going anywhere.
So I think Milner's going to stay around for another year. And then who else?
4-year-old Virgil is right. Carvalho's homegrown.
Yeah, Carvalho counts as homegrown. The man sounds more English than he does Portuguese.
Yeah.
He's like, Jesus Christ. So he does count as homegrown, so that's decent. So if Keita goes, so if our midfield, we let go Keita go for silly money, if that is the case. Ox goes. Who else in our midfield that might go? We've got Ox, Naby. Who else we've got left?
I think Curtis is at a bit of a crossroads. I don't know if I wouldn't sell him. I wouldn't sell him, but I think he could go on loan. He could go on loan. So that's where three midfielders are.
That's a 50-50. And then you've got Fabinho and Thiago that are mainstays. You've got Hendo as the captain. You've got Milner in the background. We need more versatility in that midfield. So we need a ball-carrying player that will run at teams. Also, Naby does do that, but he just doesn't do it enough. And then he gets tripped over by a bit of grass and he's out for 4 weeks. It's just mental.
He's got the number 8 on his back. Like,
I know.
Especially me, you know, all of us.
Too heavy, bro. It's too heavy. The shirt is too heavy, bro.
You remember
that's why we're getting injured. That's why we're getting injured this whole time. The shirt's too heavy, bro.
Do you think the number 8 shirt should be retired from Liverpool?
Yeah.
Not
do Birmingham.
Birmingham retired number 22. Jesus, man.
Number 8, I mean, Stevie did wear that number 8, and you know.
Then again, you can't, can you? Because Kenny Dalglish is 7 still there.
7. I would have retired that as well.
We'll have no numbers, man. We've got so many.
I would have played 103. It'd be mental.
But you know, it's one of those.
You haven't got enough legends. Sorry.
No. Yeah. Colin Bell.
It's one of those where it's like the one after the one. So I think whoever gets the Bellingham gets the number 8 jersey next. Yeah. Gonna go clear. But whoever was just after, because I swear, even when Naby signed, he shook Jared's hand with the shirt in his hand. I was like,
they had a photo op together and everything like that.
It was like
you know, in wrestling when you pass the torch. It was like that. It was like that.
Don't know what happened to the torch though, bro. Because
that was one of the Manfield photos. You know the ones when Gerard just photoshopped in there, bro, and he ain't really there with you.
Yeah,
like a Madam Tussauds thing. He's just like a white stuff aside.
Big up Luke Tanner as well. Big up Luke Tanner. You're doing well, Luke.
It's just a hard one with Naby, isn't it, man?
He's just started a YouTube channel. Go and check him out.
Big up Luke, man. Yeah, Naby's a bit of a mad one, isn't it? I kind of said earlier what I said about him, but he just doesn't excite me, man. It feels like we've done everything we tried, and like I said to you, every time people big him up, if you look at what you're bigging him up for, it's kind of basic stuff, and it's just because.
Can I ask you a quick question? Yeah. Just sorry to cut you, bro. What was all your reactions when he came up? When you saw him stripping off in the final, what was your reaction?
Oh, mate, this is the first thing I said, bro.
What did you all think? What did you all think was going to happen?
I sat back in my chair.
I was just like, bro, you might as well just go 4-2-4 right now. Just that's on the strike now.
I thought just leave Henderson and Fabinho in the midfield and just bring another attacker
Yeah.
on.
I was on the edge of my sofa, and when Essendon stripping off, I sat back. I just sat back, man. And it's not even against him, bro. But even, at the beginning when, like, there was that intense conversation with him and Thiago, I was so scared. I was like,
I thought Thiago was saying to him, like, you could do this.
Yeah.
I thought he was giving him like a pep talk.
Like he was saying, I'm not going to play, but you go out there and have the game of your life. And I was like, nah, man, this is
That's
not.
what it looked like. It was like really disgusting. I'm sorry to do this to you like the 11th hour, but you're going to have to start this game to be it's just not feeling right. And Naby
especially after the Naby game he played last season.
Yeah, Naby was like, please don't.
When you're small as Naby as well, like he's a small frame guy, him and Taki. But Taki's got is a bit quicker on his feet. Like you have to be like a bit cuter with the ball when you're that small, because otherwise people don't really. Do you know what I mean? To have a player who can go, we can sell for quite a bit of money. To just have him in cup games, probably not worth it. And like Taki came in for like 7 million. If he plays in the cup still, Taki, he ends up being more experienced to go along with the youth in the FA Cup and League Cups. But you don't want to see Naby in the cup games early times against like Luton and that, because it feels like he's above that. But it also feels like for the first team,
he's actually not.
It's kind of like like everyone forgets that like Harvey, when the league started, Elliott was ahead of Naby. Like he just was. Jones was, and then. It just happened he got injured and he scored a volley, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, let's keep him in the team, and he stayed fit. So he's done well to keep himself fit and all that.
The best thing he's done this season is be available, but unfortunately, £58 million and 5 years later, that's not really good enough, is it? Like, I need a bit more.
Exactly.
But do you guys actually think Naby's going to leave this summer?
I don't think he is,
No, I don't think there's enough clubs out there that take him.
Well, I said this. I said, like Ants just said it. I was on Coppish, Coppish a few weeks ago, and they were talking about we need like a right winger or something like that to come into the team, another attacking winger. And they're going through all the names. And I went on Coppish and said for a laugh, don't be surprised you hear that Liverpool are in for Dennis from Watford in the summer, because it'll be cheap. And Ant just put here, apparently we're interested in Sarr and Dennis from Watford. Now, Sarr, everyone's talked about Sarr since 2019. Yeah. I don't think he's that great.
That's because he mashed us up on it.
He'd do better. He'd do better at a better club, obviously. But I think we've got a track record of going and just getting players from relegated clubs, Robertson, Shaqiri. So I would not be surprised if we go and get. There was a couple of years ago I was like, shit, we might go and get Todd Cantwell. Like that's the kind of we'll go and get one of them every summer for like a position that we can't really.
Is anyone think Cantwell and Gallagher in the same room? They're the same person, isn't it? I ain't seen them.
Gallagher and Cantwell.
But I ain't seen them separate.
I haven't seen Cantwell for a minute. I have not seen Cantwell for a minute.
Where did he go?
Bro, he's still at Norwich. He's still at Norwich. I don't know what happened.
I thought he got sold.
Was it Bournemouth? No. Was it on Bournemouth?
I thought he went alone to Bournemouth.
I thought he would have stayed at a Premier League club. I thought somebody would have snapped him up, man.
He's a talented little player, but it just went a bit wrong for him. But yeah, I don't see Naby. I think Naby will stay at Liverpool. Really do, unless there's a player that comes up available that we just decide that we want, and Naby is a resource we can use to get that player. I think that's the only reason I can see Naby leaving. If there ain't, because we know what our model's like. What I do like about Liverpool in some ways, we wait till we get the right player, and I do like that we just don't buy whatever's available because we couldn't get that. It's like Virgil. We wanted him that summer. We did a little bit of wrong. Apologised to Southampton. Said no, all right, we won't buy him. We'll leave him. And we never bought another centre back, and we went with Lovren. Trying to murder Harry Kane against Tottenham, things like that, instead of trying to play the ball. And in the January, we were like, we take back that apology. We bought Van Dijk. So we do stay for the player that I do like that. I see a lot of clubs like your Arsenals, your Man Uniteds recently just go and buy players to fill gaps and give them ridiculous wages, and it's not improved them as a team. So I even hear Man United fans talk about that now. Man United fans talk about, doing it the Liverpool way, buying players that we should buy that suits the system we want to play. And this is
I'm FSG conditioned now, I am.
Yeah, and this is the thing with Klopp. Do you think Klopp has to change his system going into next season? Just a tad. Just a little tad in change up the way we've been playing the last few years. Maybe in that midfield area. Because as we said,
it's hard, isn't it? Because the last few years, apart from last year, has been pretty
it's been successful. You know,
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
The last 3 years as a Liverpool fan, we ain't ever had a better 3 years as a Liverpool fan. Carry on. I'll speak after you, Jack. Go on, Jack.
Your system depends on your players, don't it, boys? We've been speaking about tonight the goals from midfield.
Yeah.
You tell me Klopp would have loved to have brought on another player from Europe who guarantees you goals in that final.
Yeah.
Stark contrast to when we played Real Madrid in 2018-19. We were bringing on Emre Can or Lallana, Christ almighty.
Yeah.
Like players like that. Like we've elevated and we've moved on from there, but we don't want to be sitting in the same position next season of what ifs again. You could pull Naby and Ox. There are make or break moments now in the next couple of months. Yeah. You look at Ox's performance. We spoke about Ox already, and Naby.
Yeah.
You just want to shake them and like, come on, boys, at Liverpool Football Club. We can give you all the support we want within the stadium. It comes down to you as a person and an individual. You've got to give it all. I understand Ox. But Ox has recovered like a couple of years ago. Yes, he had a bad injury, but mate, your career will pass you like in an instance. And
he's done nothing since then.
Yeah, nothing. It's and the Forest game, boys, as well. The attitude of like saying, "I hate to have on him, but we just said a lot."
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I had any game time. Yeah, as we said, Harvey Elliott was getting ahead of him and him and a couple of the other players at the beginning of the season. Yeah, when an 18-year-old, 17-year-old's getting ahead of you. That says a lot about it.
It's on you. It's on you, bro. It's on you.
Also, I've just had this thought. Who's actually had a better season this year, Ox or Keita?
A better season. Yeah. If you're taking it, Naby's had a better season than Ox. Of course,
Naby actually put consistency together. He actually puts on consistency
because Ox did come in the AFCON, and you remember everyone was saying, even some Liverpool fans are saying, like, how we go to cope in these games without Salah and Mane. And to be fair to Ox, he stepped up.
The thing is, though, just to caveat that, though, you say during the AFCON, it seemed like a long period because it was like a month, but it was only actually like
3 games. It's 3 games.
That's like out of the 63 games we played. Out of the 63 games we played this season, we're all in agreement that Ox turned up for 3 of them. Like,
so the only 3 starts that's what I'm trying to think. How many starts?
I can't remember starting in the league. He for the last 2 months of the season.
He hasn't made a Liverpool appearance since Liverpool played Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup.
That was a quarter-final as well.
You know what it is about Naby as well? I think Naby's consistently average. So it's not, and it's like he is, man. Like he's not consistent. He's not consistently rubbish. He's just consistently average. So I'm not making this up. Yeah, sometimes when the game finishes, and then I watch highlights back, it feels like they photoshopped him into the game. Like he wasn't. Like I don't remember him playing and doing this stuff. So sometimes I have to like. I mean, everyone has their opinion in it, but you guys will know that sometimes you'll go in a chat and somebody will be like, you'll see a few people go, Naby had a great game, and I'm like, what? And I know it's because you're conditioned to not want much from this guy, but you're forgetting what we brought him for in the first place. So, like I said, when he has good games, it's like, you know, Milner's last couple of games when he's been really good. Has Naby had any better performances than them?
No,
this season, no.
Well, there you have it. There you have it, James Milner.
I'd keep a 37-year-old James Milner next season over Naby Keita, and I think that tells you everything about Naby Keita. But the thing, I don't think Naby Keita is a bad footballer.
He's good.
No, he's not. He's
not.
Do
you think the English league is just wrong for him?
Honestly, if he goes back to Bundesliga, I can see him. He won't be as good as he was at Leipzig, but he'll play well. He'll play well. He needs space in front of him to like run and do amazing runs.
That's what it is.
He does not get that. He does not get that in the Prem.
Yeah, Naby will get battered in the Championship. He won't score any goals or anything, bro. He get punched up by like Scunthorpe and them, man, bro. But yeah, man, he's a good player, but. I think, like I said to you guys earlier, like if you haven't, just go and watch that Sky Sports interview from the Man City chairman. That is the scariest shit I've ever heard, bro. This guy was just saying stuff with a straight face, knowing he's got all the money, and he just said like, he said, "I'm not settling for anything, then great, and we'll go and get whoever we need to get." And this is a team that, if you look at the players they've got individually and on the bench, like I don't always like always comparing us to Man City. We're two different. You know what I mean? I love the way Liverpool's ran. I just love everything about us. But I just want everyone just analyze Man City's bench. Have whatever bench you want of Man City's, and then just put it against ours, and then just tell me who you're picking to come on the pitch and excite me. Because if we in that Champions League final, if we were say we had Man City's bench, same Liverpool team, we would have had Mahrez to bring off the bench, Sterling or Grealish. Like it, and yeah, I'm saying I just seen Naby warming up and Klopp hugging him, and the hug looked like please. It looked more like hope than anything. It didn't look like.
It wasn't like I know you're gonna do this. It's like I beg.
Yeah, because obviously Klopp sees him in training and it, so he obviously knows what they can do. So I do trust him in that, and I think that's the difference in it. Like Klopp puts his trust in you, and then he go out there and do a job for us. And I think with Guardiola is like, I saw what you did in training and that, but I seen you do one bad on the pitch, you get off the pitch, man.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I think we're all we're not forgetting him, but because he was injured this season. But Harvey Elliott, I'm telling you, he's got Klopp loves Harvey Elliott. If you notice with Harvey, he started the season, and for me, he started really well. Didn't look out of place at all. Then obviously he got his horrible injury. But I think he came back too quick. But as soon as he was fit and available again, Jurgen Klopp put him straight in the side. Straight back in the side, no messing about. And then I think Klopp realised, no, he's back too soon. He's just back too soon. Because he's pulling out of challenges and stuff like that. And that's a mental thing, because when you do that break and fracture to your leg, as a human being, you're just like,
he looked like he put on weight to me as well. Man.
Yeah, and he put on a bit of weight, as you would if you're sitting around at home and all that. He got back on the bread, didn't he? Mo weren't in his ear.
Fluffy, man.
He got back on the carbs. But he's a young kid as well, so he's carrying what is it they call it? Puppy fat.
Puppy fat, yeah.
You know,
don't be surprised if he comes back in to start next season if he has a good.
I think he will. I think he'll be heavily involved. I think Carvalho.
Him and Taki were really good against Southampton.
Yeah,
yeah, man. Taki was brilliant as well.
What I like about Harvey as well, he likes to play the give and go in midfield. So he doesn't admire his pass. He makes the pass and then he moves. And I like that. A lot of our midfielders make the pass and stay still.
Yeah, that whole right side was different against Southampton, isn't it? In my head, I thought Trent played, but he didn't. It was Gomez, Taki, and Harvey. That's what I'm saying, man. What Taki and Harvey were doing is what Salah used to do. He used to get in behind.
But Salah,
that's where Taki's goal came from.
Have we got to dig out Klopp for this a little bit as well? Because there are times this season since AFCON finished, Salah's played pretty much every single game. There's games we could have taken him out and done a little tacky, done something a little bit different, and I think we would have seen a better Salah towards the real crunch time towards the end of the season because he looked knackered.
I think you're right, man. But Salah seemed like the player where whoever gets involved and says to Klopp like, "This guy's got to play," you know.
Yeah, but
there's got to be something.
I can't.
I know. I can't either.
When you're stinking at the joint as well, if he's bagging goals every game, cool. You have to start every game. Then that's totally fine. But we're at a point now where we've all said this is the best squad we've ever seen in for Liverpool in recent memory. We've got depth now. Diaz can even do a job on the right. Diaz looks better than Salah on the right when he played there towards the end.
We look better when Salah don't play. I'm going to say it right now.
Klopp's teams have worked better when there's no egos in it, and Salah never used to have one. And it's not always a bad thing, but the fact that he started talking more and stuff like that, which I don't always mind too much. But you know, when you've got he wants to be the best in the world, and the pinnacles have been Ronaldo and Messi for the last 15 years on it. And you can go two ways on it. There's a Messi way and a Ronaldo way, and Salah's going the Ronaldo way. Ronaldo talks all the time, bro. Messi, you never heard this guy talk until he was just about to leave Barcelona. There's some big exclusive interview, white curtains and sunshine and that, bro. Like he never spoke, and that's kind of what Mane does on it. He doesn't talk and he goes down that route.
Yeah.
So,
but what I would say, if you're really the best though, out of them two, I would always say Messi's the best. If you're the best, you don't need to say you're the best.
That's me.
So
that's me.
Who's Salah talking to? Like, if you're really that good, the Ballon d'Or will come by itself. You don't need to say I'm going for the Ballon d'Or and I'm chasing it. What are you chasing it for?
It's like De Bruyne. You don't need De Bruyne to talk, do you?
It felt like Messi, like Salah's waited for Messi and Ronaldo to not be as good anymore, and then started talking.
Yeah. And now
he wasn't running his mouth. He didn't say this when we played Barcelona in the Champions League, and we was down 3-0.
The problem I've got with Mo at the moment, I think Mo generally thinks he is the best footballer in the world. I think he generally thinks it.
He should think he's doing.
No, he says that as well. He says he always believes he's going to score
generally
that.
thinks it. And I've got no problem in generally thinking it.
It's like thinking you're the best rapper,
good attitude,
but you blue face.
Yeah, but it's like the good attitude you should have. That's the attitude you should have. But but I just don't want to see him doing interviews next season. I just want him to stay quiet, just do play. Because I've got this feeling next season Mo could have an extraordinary great season. And what's going to hurt even more, he could do a Suarez. You know, when Suarez left at the end of that season.
Fucks off.
He was absolutely on fire that season. He was like the best player. For me, that season, Suarez was arguably the best footballer in the world. Because he played for Liverpool, and Liverpool weren't doing too good at that time. He didn't get the praise he should have. Because I've always said about Suarez, when we talk about Messi and Ronaldo in the last 10 years, we really should put Suarez's name with them. His goal record.
Apart from Henry and R9, he's the best striker I've ever seen.
Yeah, his assist record and goal scoring record is out of this world. I think he scored more goals in the league season two out of the 3 years when he played with Messi and Ronaldo. He outscored them. He's a tremendous footballer. And I think Salah could have this sort of same season next year. He's going to have a rest up in the summer. That he ain't going to the World Cup in the winter. So he's going to be proper rested up. And I think he's just going to be on. I just think he's going to be on different levels next. I don't know about you guys.
He's going as well.
You watched the De Bruyne being at the end of the season. Regardless of who they were playing, he stepped up. And you seen when they play Real Madrid in the semis, when he wasn't on the pitch, as we said, Salah was bigging himself up in the press. And if you want to be the best, you've got to have a certain type of ego to be the best in any whatever your craft is. But it was that space. That was probably the worst game I've watched this season. The amount of times that ball could have been switched over to the left. There were so many options, so many times, and he's shooting. He's like, "What are you doing?" That's the one crunch moment within a season, or within that you could pinpoint a lot of the games. But the back end of that season, and obviously when he went off, he didn't even try himself to stay in the pitch in the final at FA Cup, did he? I know he himself was already thinking about the Champions League, but
that was a weird one, and he didn't even look sad.
He literally sat down straight away and just gave it that. Normally they kind of talk to the physio. He's like, "Nah."
It's a weird one, wasn't it? It's like, let's go on.
I was expecting a Salah hat-trick on Saturday then by the attitude and the way he's picked himself up.
He was all right, but the amount he was talking, I wanted to see at least one of those shots.
I thought he was going to be on fire Saturday night with Man. He was talking. I thought, I'm going to see the real Mo again. I mean, that one shot he had where Courtois saved it. When he took the ball down perfectly,
and then more a wide shot,
and then just done Mendy for pace, and he scored that shot a few times. And I thought it was I thought that was a goal. As soon as he let go, I thought that was a goal. I've got to say that save from Courtois was next level. His position.
It was a top save, but the shot wasn't incredible, was it? It was like
he hit it with enough power that a goalkeeper that probably goes in the goal. But Courtois was just been one of them. You know when you do one of them games, you can't score past them. I remember when we played Newcastle, 2009 season, and Shay Given was on absolute fire. And Steven Gerrard actually had to flick the actual corner of the goal to score because he was just having one of them games. And I think
always De Gea when we play United J as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Do you remember De Gea when we had Sterling in the squad and he kept saving everything?
Big up Jamrock as well with the super chat. Much love Jamrock. Thank you very much, my friend. We should be humming and hurrying about keeping Milner, re-signing Bobby and Naby too. That's inconsistent, while City will likely flog Iki, Gundogan and Sterling this summer.
It's a fair point, to be fair.
I mean,
although I see Milner as like a Fernandinho, though. Like,
just coming. You're basically in your tracksuit most of the time, innit? Just come and up the lads. If you don't watch the inside Anfield stuff, he's always the one who's like G'ing up.
He's always,
I love that. I love that inside Anfield stuff.
Yeah.
Adrian seems like a great bloke as well.
I love that guy, you know.
All these different holding their flipping camera like that for the
he can go, obviously, he can go. He's never going to play for Liverpool, but he does seem like a generally nice fella. And when you hire out a whole stadium in Spain just to show off your medals, I mean, big up to you.
that promotional video we done.
It was the cheesiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
But, he's never been paid for as a goalkeeper, has he? Like, no one's ever brought him.
Always been got on the free. Bro, that is...
We're the first ever club to re-sign him to a contract. We're the first ever cup. No one's ever reached.
Listen, man. At least he has that.
Man,
At least he has that
36 as
super
well,
cup.
man.
Was it super cup? He has that performance in him, man. That's he can have.
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but he's
That's
also got
memories for him,
Atletico
man.
at home, though, innit? Like, I'll never
Nah,
forgive
that-
him for that because we were
you don't
winning the
even- you don't
Champions
even-
League that season.
Bro, you don't
We
even
were
want to
winning.
know about how my day was that day. Like, bro, trust me, there was fights.
I
And
swear we were.
I was
winning
in a
that
bar,
year.
bro, kicking chairs and that. Yeah, I thought we would have won the Champions League that year.
We were
That year
winning,
was
honestly.
that year was easier to win it than this year, man. I thought for sure when we get past them, when Bobby scored a header, I'm like, we've won this Champions League now, bro. If you ever watched the Morata goal back, bro, jeez, bro,
Do you want to say
he just
hello?
fell to one side, bro,
Hello.
and didn't bother do anything.
Say hello.
Hey, little man, what's
Hello.
going on?
Yes, little
Say,
man.
yeah,
Yes.
you go
Come on.
to bed. Say bye-bye to
Hooligan
everybody.
thing, no bedtime. Man.
Oh, bye, everybody, you said.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later, little man.
See you later, mate. Go to mummy. No, this should be
Hey,
fun.
little man.
It should be. Oh, there we go.
Rage, you know.
It's not as
I've
bad
heard
as it
Bedington
sounds.
rage.
It's not as bad as it sounds. He was watching. Apparently, he was watching me downstairs on his tablet. So
Dope.
he's come upstairs. Yeah,
Love that,
he,
man.
yeah. He's all right. He's got quite bad epilepsy, so bad seizures and stuff. So he don't sleep well at night sometimes. So yeah, but he's a good kid. He's a good kid. He ain't mine, but he's a good kid. What was I going to say? Now with the Naby thing, that Naby can go. Ox can go. We need midfield enforcements. We need a number 8 who can break into the box and score goals and get onto the end of crosses desperately. I don't want to see Hendo play more than 25 games next season for me. I think we need to start.
You just rotate with Fab, innit?
Yeah, we just need to rotate Hendo a little bit because I love Hendo. Tremendous footballer, still very underrated by a lot of
He's
football.
better when he just comes in after like a bit of a break or off the bench. Like, that
And
end
I like
that
him
game
in
when
the
he came
sixth
on.
I think
Yeah,
he looks really good
yeah.
in the 6th role. I think
He looks
really good.
knackered in the 8 now. He looks,
Yeah,
but I can't play him either.
because he has to.
Yeah,
he has
because I was about to say that.
Trent tracking back, don't he? So when Trent gets forward, he has to get into them gaps, and then he's expected to still get in the end of crosses in the other box. So I think with Hendo, him and Fab do that number 6 thing next season. You get in a proper number 8 who, can break into the box, break the lines. You use Thiago well next season. What I'm looking forward to Thiago next season. This is going to be his first ever proper pre-season with Liverpool. Came when the pandemic was at its worst, when no one wanted to go anywhere. Then the following season, it was the Euros where he played half hour. So he never really had a proper pre-season. Plus, them 2 seasons were very back-to-back, weren't they? We had 2 real close back-to-back seasons, the season before and the season in Kane. Then we had the Euros. But this summer, it's just a few international friendlies. So he can have a proper pre-season. And if you see what is happened to Joel Matip this summer, and Naby, to be fair, Naby's been the fittest he's probably been a Liverpool player this season. So there's obviously they're doing something. We've got a new German physio, I do believe. So obviously there's something they're doing that's correct. And I'm hoping they can do that with Thiago, because if Thiago can be fit for 80% of the next season, you've got a tremendous footballer there. But we've got to use it. We've got to be careful with Thiago. So we need to use him sparingly as well. So, yeah, Javier, I think, will play a lot of games next season in the midfield. I think even Curtis Jones, if he does stay, you see him playing a few games. Carvalho will play quite a lot next season. We might see quite a youngish kind of...
Carvalho's what excites me, man.
Yeah,
Carvalho excites me.
Can you imagine Carvalho and Elliot and Thiago?
Have you seen how he carries the ball? I know it sticks to his feet.
Yeah, it's tremendous.
And he hits the shot at the right time or something, because in the Champions League final, there was a part where Hendo, with Hendo in the Champions League final, it wasn't about him playing bad. I could just see the caution that he knew he was playing against Real Madrid. And there was a time when I think it was already 1-0 down, and there's a couple of times where they gave Hendo the ball to lead it and go forward, and he wasn't sprinting and trying to be like urgency with it. He was kind of like, let me take my time, and we was running out of time in it. And somebody who can just break the lines. Carvalho would have just ran off with that ball and tried something, and I would have rather seen that. So
I think, can you imagine a Carvalho? You got Carvalho, Elliot, Fabinho, and Thiago on the same pitch next.
Exactly. You know what you lot said about earlier on about Trent in midfield. I'm always.
I'm not with that personally.
No, yeah, I was going to say.
I don't think he'll have the room to do the passes.
I was just going to say that. I was going to say the reason why he can do what he does from right back now is because the space is in that big space. What I do think is, though, as much as I don't want him there, you know, certain games where, I don't know, where we can just change something up. You know, like I've seen before, like it's always random. It's always the one-off chance, 2-3 games a season where I used to see when Barcelona was struggling, to just throw Piqué up front. Just throw him up front and do that. You know what I mean? I could see where we're worried about somebody breaking on a counter-attack, so we put whoever's right back on Gomez or Ramsey, and then move Trent into midfield and take one of the players off, and then he can start being a little bit. He can dictate a little bit more from midfield with his passing instead of because otherwise from the right-hand side, you know what he's going to do when we're struggling. He's going to start whipping it, and it's not always going to work unless we've got a big striker there, obviously. But that's the other thing I was going to say. Unless we negate it by having like a proper like target man. But... it's a weird one because Man City's kind of forced our hand in it. Like we don't like it, but if you look at what they're doing and how their club is, our hand's been forced. If they didn't exist or if they weren't the club they were, we'd be fine with all the players we've got. But I just see that when we talk about this is the Liverpool, we're all conditioned to this, and it's fair enough because our clubs ran how football clubs should be run, but we kind of can't do it. So when we're talking about replacing, Jamie reeled off all the names of people who need replacing, and in our heads we're just thinking of almost a like-for-like replacement of the same person, but we kind of need an upgrade. But we know that our upgrade can't be the best in the world. It has to be someone who's got potential. Like when we're talking about replacing Origi, he doesn't really play anyway, does he? So you could really just replace him with a number. Just any player, you can put an academy player there.
Tacky there,
because all of his clutch goals have come in like with the amount of time he's been there. You can almost say there's one. It would be like 1.5 goals a season. But it just means a lot. You could almost like it'd be like replacing Origi with Mikel Antonio. Like he'll just bully somebody and throw the ball in the box and that. But it's kind of like we need to actually think ahead. It's a bit of a weird situation we're in. So.
Mike Alston says there, by the way, I used to love Mike Alston in ECW, but there you go. Did you?
Very good wrestler.
Has anyone seen this TikTok video he's on about here? I've not actually seen. I don't actually.
No, but I was convinced that was offside when I first saw it.
Yeah,
they didn't show no VAR replay.
They didn't even look at it, did they? They went, Real Madrid scored. Let's go right next. It's just sort of like they didn't even look.
I thought it was offside. I just sat there.
They showed the first because I was in Paris. I was watching on a massive screen. Yeah. They showed the first still. I swear to God, he looked offside, and then that was it. And he just started celebrating. That was it.
Because apparently what Michael Alston's saying here is that obviously on his TikTok video they've probably shown that he's put the lines up or something like that to show he's probably offside. So
you know what's happened there though? They went in at half time, and somebody spoke to the ref about the goal that didn't give Benzema, and it was like we're not taking that one off him as well.
No, exactly.
Perez has been in the referee.
And says, here's a shock. The stake-back clubs are debt-free. Yeah. He says it showed that Benzema interfered from play from an offside position. I'm going to go back and have a look.
Oh, I haven't watched the replays. I don't want to look at
it. I'm going to go back. When I'm finished here in a bit, I'm going to go back and have a look until he's wrong.
I don't want to know, bro.
Jamrock with another super chat. Pick yourself up, Jamrock. Thank you very much, my man. When you play in a league where 95 points is the bar, you can't drop any levels in any games. Millie in that Chelsea 2-2 drop is off with his consistent fouling. Yeah, I do get you, Jamrock. I do get you. But what I said it earlier in the video with Man City, the only reason Man City have to get 90 points every season is because of Liverpool Football Club. The season we didn't challenge them, they coasted to the Premier League winning 80 points. So Liverpool have to keep going. Otherwise, if City feel like Liverpool ain't going to compete and Chelsea aren't ready yet, they're just going to coast to an easy Premier League win. So Liverpool need to get this transfer market this summer as correct as they've done for quite a while. Big up. Ish. See you later, my man. Thanks for coming in, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah, so... Yeah, I just think we got to get this summer right, guys, ain't we? We just got to get this summer right, and we go again.
You guys see Pep's interview before the last league game in Sky Sports. He was quite honest about like Man City and Liverpool. Like he wasn't trying to troll us or anything like that. and he was pretty much bigging us up of how much he was just saying like there's no way we would be in this position without Liverpool. And I'm not trying to take anything from it because he doesn't do anything for us.
The coast leagues if it weren't for us.
Yeah, but going forward with because I said that I don't think because of how many goals they scored, and it wasn't that much more than us. To be fair, we were quite matched on everything this season. And until he got to the last 3 or 4 games for Man City, we had scored more goals than them. But so that's why I think that with the Haaland thing, it might mean more to them in the Champions League than it does in the league. I think in the league it doesn't make much difference. It just means that instead of Foden and Mahrez scoring 16 goals, they'll get 10 and Haaland will get 20. I don't think it makes much of a difference. But that Julian Alvarez and that, and if they sign Cucurella from Brighton, they're the ones who make a massive difference because Zinchenko's not trash, but Cucurella is better than him. And these positions are the ones where I'm like, how are they going to get better than they already have? We've already pushed them to the max. We've done it 3 times now, haven't we? Pushed them right to the end. And we've come up short and we've been able to blow them away one season when we had to literally didn't we win like 18 games in a row or something? We had to destroy them and destroy everyone in the league. And I'm still going to stick with, I know there were stupid games where we lost points this season, but I just think if you can beat the top 6 teams or the top 3 at least at home, we win the league, and it's proven. If we beat Man City or beat Chelsea or beat Tottenham, we would have won the league. We're normally up for them games. All the other seasons, we win them games. It's only Man City we always struggle against. Tottenham and Chelsea and all that, we beat them all the time. So,
yeah, great. Guys, going to leave it there. We're going on for ages. I didn't realise how long we've been going for. It's been a great night. I really enjoyed tonight, and thanks you guys for coming on as well. Thanks to Cal.
No problem,
Rod,
man. Fun, man.
Saint, Rods. I think everyone who came on, but big thanks to everyone that came on. Thanks to everyone in chat. As I say, guys, I know I usually read all your chats, but I just wanted to keep the debate flowing and not take too many breaks. But you know, I will always go back and read your chats. I did put them all on screen at the same time, so you got your shouts out on screens, guys. So, and everyone.
Have you done the starred ones, Jay? The ones you saved?
Yeah, I starred all the super chat. I've shown all them already, and yeah, I've shown all them already. Yeah, I'm always going to say if anyone's ever super chats the channel, I always star them so they get saved. So you'll always get read out. If it's not straight away, it'll definitely get read out. So don't worry about that, guys. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow afternoon, guys, with another video, and then I'll be doing the international friendlies as well. So I'm going to put myself through it. Why not? So I'll be doing the international friendlies coming up as well. The England playing Hungary twice.
To be fair, they're boring to watch normally, but if you're doing the chat, it might be more fun for you, man. There's no stress.
I like doing the watch-alongs because everyone comes in chat and we have a laugh and stuff like that. And the game goes crap. It's good, and it's good on the channel as well. The channel it's good. I'll
tell you what, watching England makes you wonder, innit, that you could have been a football coach because Gareth Southgate, man. How'd you not win anything with that team, man?
Yeah, at least Mings ain't in the squad. That's one thing.
Nah, Maguire's still there, bro. So you can't
Maguire gets in England place.
As long as Trent doesn't get injured, that's the main thing.
Yeah, exactly. Trent don't play. Trent just retire.
Yeah.
Just retire. Right, guys, I'll be back tomorrow around 12 o'clock. Big up to everyone who joined me today.
Big up, boys.
Big up, boys.
Thank you very much.
Jamie.
See you later, guys.
Shout out to the chat. Peace.